It's okay. I am token yellow, man. Token minority.
We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I am Ethan Van Sciver, a comic book artist with 25 years experience in this business. Great big Star Wars fan, of course, creator of Cyberfrog Blood Honey, Smash It Indiegogo campaign that you can check out. And it's doing pretty well. We've got another Smash Hit Indiegogo campaign that just began today, and it's called Red Rooster, The Golden Age. And we have with us the creator of Red Rooster, The Golden Age. We're going to be interviewing him today and just finding out how somebody like Mitch Breitweiser comes up with this incredibly awesome new concept. I am joined by Edwin Boyette, everybody's favorite voice, radio voice. Say hello.
Hey, aloha, everyone.
I love it. We got Mike S. Miller here, fantastic artist with a long history in comics.
Aloha and mahalo.
And we've got the umbrella guy. I always want to say the umbrella guy, but he always psychs me out. It's that umbrella guy.
Hey there.
Hey,
as opposed to the other one.
Right. And we've got stop. You're going to give Edwin a heart attack. We've got we do have Cecil here tonight. Cecil is joining us.
What are you sucking on, Cecil?
Oh.
Is everyone okay?
Yeah, I'm pulling it together. We're talking Red Rooster. I'm just gonna put a piece of tape over Cecil and I'll be good.
All right.
Cecil's muted. You've got him muted, or he's muted himself.
No, he muted himself. So welcome, Cecil. But most of all,
hello.
Most of all, welcome to Mitch Breitweiser. How are you today, Mitch? All right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on an amazing first day. How are you feeling right now?
Mitch has muted himself.
Hey, Mitch, we can't hear you.
You're muted, buddy.
You can interview me, Ethan, for a few minutes if you'd like.
That's always the fallback.
Yeah, you're going to pretend to be Mitch?
I will. Ask me about my childhood.
Oh, hey, Edwin, you like my shirt?
I see your shirt. Oh, nice, brother. Very nice.
Save yourself.
What happened?
Oh.
Mitch, he's got the best microphone of us all, and no one can hear him. There he goes.
He's going to check out and check back in.
I'm intimidating. I am intimidating him. I think.
Yeah.
I'm flabbergasted by this today's.
There he is.
Okay. Yeah. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
I don't know what happened. All right, I'm back. Well, thank you, fellas. Welcome. It's nice to be here. What did I miss?
We all applauded you.
We all missed whatever you said for the first 2 minutes.
I don't know. I can't even remember. So Cecil, we're presenting a challenge for you. I think you're up for it. Elizabeth has found rooster masks.
She sent it to me. I'm already buying it. Got
it. Beautiful. We also got some costumes for the cats.
I don't approve of that.
They're already being shipped your way. I mean, it's too late now.
I don't have any cats.
He doesn't have any cats. I was gonna say, how many cats does Cecil have? Well, Cecil, how many cats does your sister have? I should ask.
No cats.
There's 0 cats. What are we gonna do with the cat costumes?
I mean, I'll squeeze into it if need be.
Need be. It definitely need be. I mean, my gosh, they went through all that expense. You're going to put on those cat costumes and like it, my friend.
I have a little dog. It's a terrier. I think maybe she could fit into a cat costume.
I would think so, yeah.
I would have to punch her a lot, though, because she's a terrier. They bite.
All right, we're gathered. Oh, my God, the echo.
Is it me?
think it's me.
I think it's you too. I normally blame you when anything goes wrong.
Using this laptop. That is.
I need to get ice. I'm gonna make myself a nice big martini right now. Hold on.
Did Ethan's volume just drop off?
Yeah, Ethan, you're real quiet.
Yeah.
Because I
All right.
unplugged
Ethan,
make
you sound like you're upstairs yelling downstairs.
Let's make the main thing the main thing. So checking your Indiegogo page, Mitch.
All right.
The Red Rooster Golden Age. Let me refresh this one more time, just so I make sure I have it straight. $42,020.
Astounding. So we are blown away, absolutely blown away by the support of you guys. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I feel pretty great for a guy who's only slept about 5 hours a night for the last, I don't know, pretty much since Ethan took his trip to not Little Rock, but yeah, when Ethan flew to Arkansas. I think I've only slept 5 hours a night ever since. I moved into a new office here downtown and cooking up some big things. Mark Pellegrini has been by my side. Elizabeth's working hard. She's up late coloring Batman for all you Batman fans. But we do have to say there is a hashtag floating around right now. I did not invent this hashtag. It's called Red Rooster. It's hashtag Red Rooster, hashtag better than Batman. So if you just want to float that out there,
You got it.
I figure if you're going to shoot for something, you might as well shoot for the moon.
Hey, Batman in a barn. I mean, what else do you need?
Yes.
What point come up with Red Rooster? When did this
I hear Ethan.
Volume
And it
really
sounds
low.
like he's down in the bottom of a well.
Yeah.
Now, just to clarify, when Ethan flew to Arkansas, the two of you didn't go down to the crossroads or something, did you?
Yeah, we to meet the devil. Yes, we did sell our souls to the devil. Ethan
That was
Ethan wanted $500K for Cyberfrog, and I just wanted a measly $250,000. And my soul came cheap. I don't know what to say.
So when you met him, was Cecil drinking? Is that?
I think he was 3 or 4 martinis deep. So, and wearing a mask, a Chumley mask, a cat mask.
So, all right. So something I kind of halfway caught you talking about today. If you hit $60,000, what were you saying you were going to be able to do with the Futurist?
Okay, no, the first stretch goal. It's up on our Red Rooster Golden Age. And what is going on? I'm trying to give a pitch. Cecil's over here making tons of racket.
I thought I turned my microphone off. Sorry. Sorry. Oh fuck. Sorry about that. I went to go get a beer.
I wish somebody get me a beer.
Hear me now?
No, barely.
No.
You're so quiet.
You sound like a tiny little man.
I'm like a cat. I apologize. I turned the
You know,
camera
I
off.
think I know what's going on. I think Ethan is broadcasting from someone's fridge. I think he's in there licking someone's butter right now.
I really apologize for that. I thought I turned the mic off. I didn't mean that.
You guys hear me now?
A little
Yes.
bit better. A little
You're
bit.
still faint, brother. All right.
Now?
No.
It's still the same, man.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Oh, that's
That's
better.
getting there.
Tiny bit better.
Lean in towards the mic.
I'm wearing headphones. I can't. Leaning in towards the mic isn't going to help. This is as good as I can get. All right.
Put your head. Yep. Maybe put like a bag over your head to capture that sound.
It seems to have worked for you, but I'm going to go ahead and just ask Mitch. I'm going to yell, "Hey, Mitch, how did you create Red Rooster? Where did it come from? Where did the idea come from?"
I just doodled a character. I posted the first drawing of Red Rooster that I did years ago, probably like 5-6 years ago. I was in between some pages and just was filling up my sketchbook, and this character fell out. And I put a little comb on his head and wrote next to it "Red Rooster," and then it sat in a sketchbook. I doodled him in a sketchbook for years and years. I only told a few friends. It was kind of a gag, kind of a joke, that slowly became something kind of serious. And I had a couple friends that, as I began to sort of elucidate, what I thought this character was and what kind of world he lived in, the background he had, they said there's something there. Oh my God, what's going on?
Feels like it's transforming.
That's not me, by the way.
It's me. I just plugged in a different headset. That's got to be about it.
Could you imagine how
That's
furious?
That's like you sound like Galactus.
I sound like Galactus. Is that better?
No, you sound good. It was just the sound effects of you coming in sounded up like some portal to hell being open.
I keep expecting to hear or something that roll out.
This is the same guy who, if he hears a single one of my ice clinks, he goes into a fury. Meanwhile, it sounds like he's electrocuting a chicken.
A rooster.
A rooster. I'm sorry. I didn't. That should have been more synergy. Sorry about that.
So you just doodled this character. I mean,
I just doodled it. I doodled it, and then a world evolved around it. A story evolved around it. I had of course, Elizabeth believes in me 110%. I owe her everything. Yeah, I can't even express that in words, really. I had another friend who Ethan has come to know, a gentleman named Chris. I won't give away his last name. Ethan's had a couple conversations with Chris. Chris is a stalwart friend and a longtime comic book fan. He's one of and a very successful businessman. Chris was one of these guys that would spend $500 a month at a comic book store up until about 5 years ago. And we talk all the time about comics in the business. And he's like, dude, I just can't, other than your work and Elizabeth's work and a couple others, I'm just, there's nothing here for me anymore. Guy has 4 kids, just walks away. And I had a hunch that he was not the only one. And this is before guys like DNC came on, Umbrella Guy. This is years before, and years before what happened to us in 2016. Like the people have been walking away for some time, and Red Rooster is a character for all of those guys and gals and their kids and their families and their friends that decided they were going to take their $50 a month, $100 a month, $500 a month, and spend it on go-kart rides and mini golf instead of comic books. That's what it's about. He said there's something here. Elizabeth said I believe in you, and I think there's something here. And eventually, what started as a lark, what started as kind of a joke, became something I decided to play straight. And then when I started playing it straight, when the Red Rooster became this character that was going to be larger than life, and he was going to be a hero. He wasn't going to be a joke. He was going to be real. And meaningful, and have a great impact on the landscape of comic books, yet maintain this irony of a man in a giant chicken costume, and it was going to be beautiful. And I think we've hit on something here that's I think there's something to it, and I think the audience coming out and supporting us is starting to show that for sure.
I love his shorts. I love no, really. The way the cut and the line of his shorts. I love his shorts, and I miss the striped pants. What happened to the striped?
The striped pants. You got a little friend behind you, dancing around in the background. A new meme, a new internet meme.
Oh, dude! No. I was on a live. So he's developmentally disabled, right?
Oh, okay.
And so he's still in diapers. And one time I was on this like 3-hour live stream with V, and he walks in the background naked, holding a diaper. And like the chat just lights up with, "There's a naked kid in the background," and like V just deletes the stream like right off the.
Incredible.
My goodness. Well, the striped pants.
I'm glad he's got pants on.
Yeah. Speaking of pants, Striped pants. Yeah, that was the original design. He had striped pants. I just thought they were too loud. But what I want to do is, like, if he has to do we're going to do flashbacks, like this Red Rooster is contemporary. I think he's more marketable. He looks slicker. It's a little easier to draw as well. But maybe we'll do some flashbacks where he's got striped pants, like his original costume. You know.
Well, I always thought when I saw the
medieval
striped
Red
pants
Rooster,
that it was
medieval spawn.
I thought it was a previous Red Rooster with the striped pants.
It's the same one. It's just going to be like his original costume before he like evolved it to something a little more tailored. And like now he's moneyed, right? So now, like when we pick up on the Red Rooster, he's become this famous vigilante folk hero. I'm just going to give you a little bit of the story. He's become a famous, like a celebrity essentially. He's a celebrated vigilante folk hero who came out of the heartland, who has inherited this legacy that's been passed from generation to generation. But he takes it and becomes, because this is set in the like 30 to 35, in kind of a fictional, idealized America, right? So it's Main Street USA, kind of the Disney version, right? We don't deal with the realities on the ground. It's a fictional place, fictional world, and this is the era where mass media comes online, right? So you've got the talkies, you've got radio going all across the United States, and railways all the way across the country, of course, and cars and so the Red Rooster becomes this sort of celebrity for hijinks and his allies, of course, and his dog Rascal, and he's on the cover of Cracker Jack tins, and he's the spokesman for a famous soda brand, and it's kind of a double-edged sword, because that's not a heroic act. It's a commercial act, and it's successful, right? But it also maybe betrays some of the core principles of what it means to be a Red Rooster, a guy who has inherited this centuries-old mantle that passed down from generation to generation. But the other side of it, and what we're doing is telling the story of his downfall. He's kind of Icarus in a way. He has flown too close to the sun. And this is his enemies, this cabal of villains, that he's put away in the past, conspire to take him down once and for all, and they kind of leverage his fame and to bring him down. He is facing a crisis of leadership amongst his team. In fact, his protege that he's mentoring is starting to question his decisions of taking the Red Rooster mantle and commercializing it in such a way. But you find out that there's a double-edged sword to this. And the other side of that is like, for instance, there's the Order of the Dawn in this book. You see me talking about this Order of the Dawn thing, right? It becomes like a fan club. And there are talk radio serials about the guy, right? I mean, he becomes this pop culture phenom, much like Cyberfrog, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that
Mitch,
By the way, everyone in the chat is saying, yeah, he sounds like Ethan. You're describing Ethan. No, this isn't me at all. This isn't the story of me.
that's what I was going to ask Mitch.
The man who flew too close to the
Somebody grew
sun.
up in that generation, like somebody who grew up on radio, like Ethan. Did you talk to them?
Edwin did advise.
Edwin and Ethan. Yeah, that'd be good.
I love it. I love old radio. And that brings me to this question that I wanted to ask. Cecil, will you mute your microphone, please, for a second? Yeah, it's Cecil. Okay. No, it isn't. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
The echo is Cecil. Cecil, you're echoing really, really badly. So just mute when you want to, unmute when you want to talk, okay? Yeah, so what year is this? What year does this take place?
A fictional 1930 to 1935. So this is the story we're telling here in the Indiegogo special, 48 pages, 60 pages if we hit our first stretch goal. We're going to extend the length of the book. So I'm going to make Mark Pellegrini write more pages. This book is like a hinge between two worlds of the Red Rooster. His past, which was like his golden age, his heyday, where he was becoming this celebrated hero. And then this story is the story of his downfall. And then the next, we've plotted out a series of books after this. So this isn't like a smash and grab. We're building something real here. We have a story to tell. Mark Pellegrini and I have plotted out many issues worth of material, some of it very, very tightly. And what follows after the Indiegogo special is basically the character becomes he he disappears for 5 years. Is he dead? People don't know. Is he wanted? The public has turned on him. The media has turned on him. The cynical adults have turned their back on the red rooster. And all that's left is a few true believers, right? It's very much like it may be kind of allegorical in many ways, too. I think some of the things that are going on right now in the world and maybe in comics. All that's left is a few true believers, but they're just enough to hang on. And it's like the kids that he reached through the Cracker Jack tins and through the radio serials, and the adults that were still kids at heart held on just enough hope that the rooster would come back, that when he did, he had just enough of a support system to rebuild his image, to have this massive comeback story. Now, Edwin can probably say this far more eloquently than I can. I have given Edwin was one of 3 or 4 people that I have given advanced copies of the scripts to, and we did a whole broadcast with Mark Pellegrini about this. Edwin, what do you have to add to this?
Well, I liked that you've got several scenes with the kids expressing this hope and belief, because children know the difference between good and evil and absolutely know that it exists. You know, people get a little bit older and all these educated people teach them that good and evil are these abstract concepts. These points of view is a very subjective thing. But the kids in the Red Rooster understand that good and evil are very real things. And they have this unjaded, unmitigated, undiluted hope, right? And so that's a very beautiful perspective. It's very undiluted, very genuine, because it's not jaded by all this intellectual nonsense and all the baggage and stuff we acquire. And so there's a scene you have down by the rail yard, which is very, very powerful. And I think everybody's going to enjoy it very much, partly because it's this expression, this affirmation that we do need heroes. We do need heroes because good and evil are very real things and very present in our world.
Heads up, Mitch, you are tracking according to BackerKit. BackerKit's funding progress on Indiegogo. You ready to find out what they're projecting that you're going to make?
I'm going to keep my expectations low, but let me have it.
$2,053,132 as of right now.
What?
That's what they're saying. That's their scientific projection of what Red Rooster is going to make, based on trends. Based on trending, it's trending towards $2,053,132 now.
Yeah, I'm going to keep my expectations low, but my enthusiasm extremely high.
This is a big deal. This is a big deal. They are at no point was Cyberfrog trending to make that. At no point. At my highest point, I was trending to make 640. You are trending to make $2 million on a single comic book. That's substantial. We can do that. We can actually make that happen. This group of fans can actually make that happen. They can make Red Rooster Golden Age, the first comic book in how long? 30 years to make 7 figures in profit. They're capable of that. This fandom is capable of that, and this fandom's growing. It's absolutely growing. Right now, we are at $42,337. Cecil has unmuted himself. Yeah, sorry, Cecil. It's noisy. It's really noisy. Eon Lucas, thanks for $5. Excelsior. Yeah, Excelsior, everyone. Excelsior. This is absolutely fantastic. People are projecting. In the chat they're all guessing what you're going to make. They think it's going to be 450,000, but that would be nice. That'd be nice too. BackerKit is pretty good. They're pretty scientifically reliable. If we can keep the enthusiasm going, this could be an absolute incredible thing. You okay, Mike?
Oh shoot! Am I not mic'd? I mean muted.
Yeah.
You're not
mute yourself.
Sorry.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
This
You know,
is absolutely huge.
Mitch, there's something a lot of people ask me or ask over and over again, and I know sometimes this stuff scrolls by so quickly, but you get asked a lot about the villains in the world of the Red Rooster, and then a lot of people keep coming back to the Cthulhu aspect. Who is your big bad? Who is this driving evil force in the world of Red Rooster?
So I've told you our book is a hinge between two worlds of the Red Rooster, his rise, and then his Icarus flying too close to the sun, which is the story we're telling, and then this aftermath and comeback. So in many ways, that's a hinge for the villains as well. In his heyday, he battles this sort of mystery men, Batman style rogues gallery of the fourth dimensional man, Jackal Rabbit, Motor Mouth, which might be, we have to change some of these names because we're checking copyrights and stuff, but and Vermin Eater, who is one of probably my favorite, and a couple others that we're hashing out. And a darker force decides to bring them all together into a single cabal, into a single conspiracy to ruin the Red Rooster and his legacy, the legacy of the Red Rooster forever. And what you're going to find out, and I can say this without spoiling too much, we have a character called the Foundation Man. And the Foundation Man is the one that brings these villains together into one cabal, and he's extremely mysterious. The other villains are, like I said, mystery men. They're colorful and vibrant, maybe a dash campy as well. But the Foundation Man represents something ancient and evil. And you're going to find out in the story that the mantle of the Red Rooster is passed down from generation to generation for a reason. Because the Red Rooster was meant to fight something ancient and evil, something that is this deep, dark, suppressed side of mankind that bubbles to the surface in only the most malevolent of humans, and perhaps even worse, right? And it's ancient, maybe even more ancient than humans, and definitely more ancient than the legacy of the Red Rooster. So and Frank Cooper, who is our current Red Rooster, we're telling his story. He has received almost a rushed training on the battlefields of World War I. So he is not able to properly understand the deep and dark nature of the villainy that he's going to be coming up against. And that therein lies the nature of what we're pitching as I'm pitching this as a Rockwell meets Lovecraft, right? It's Norman Rockwell meets H.P. Lovecraft. And I think that's really what we're trying to strike here. You have this bucolic imagery of a Rockwell, of Americana, of picturesque life, and then an aspect of nature or worse that is seeking to pervert all that in this sort of H.P. Lovecraftian way. And those are the two visual contrasts we're trying to pull together.
Amazing.
I love that description. Rockwell meets Lovecraft, and it's Dust Bowl era, Southern Gothic, Cape and Cow mystery. That sounds great. Just that descriptor line right there.
Thank you.
What does that era mean to you? 1930 to 1935. What do you think of when you think about that era?
I think it's I know people associate it with obviously the Depression, right? Not fun. It's Dust Bowl, not fun. A lot of bad stuff going on, but people were digging deep. Families were family really meant something for a lot of people. For I think maybe more people than it means today, right? I mean, because the families were closer. It means that people were expressing themselves through mass media for the first time. There's a sense of purity to it. I think that's some of the associations I draw, right? And there's like this, we want to strike this sort of Main Street vibe. That's where this Rockwell aspect comes in. And then there's all this dark undercurrent where the Lovecraft angle comes into it all.
How much research are you gonna do? Are you gonna draw packaging? If they use ivory soap, are you gonna source like original ivory soap package? But you have to, dude.
I'll do some of it, but this is a fictional world, so I want to make it feel real, obviously. But I mean, the Red Rooster and his allies are spokesmen for, Kapow Cola puts the zing in your pop, and so we're going to make a few fictional brands. And but yeah, I'm totally open to product placement. I would. Totally. If Ivory Soap wants to put an old-timey ad in our comic book, call me. We'll make it happen.
That'd be great. What about movies? Are you going to reference movie stars?
In fact, yeah, there'll be some famous people mentioned in the book, I suppose. And in fact, in the first act of the Indiegogo, there's a scene where these kids are in a theater. And I think you can do this without spoiling too much because I've already talked about some of it. The scene transition, we're associating Red Rooster with this almost rural or Main Street type imagery. But when you first see Frank in his heyday, you're in Studio City, like a fictional Hollywood, right? And he's shooting a commercial for Kapow Cola. And it is nothing like, I don't want to spoil too much. There are kids. There are kids in a theater. And they're watching a Red Rooster serial, right? One of these old-timey vignettes they show before a movie. Like, look at the exploits of the Red Rooster and friends, right? With all the corny Carnival Barker voiceovers and all that kind of stuff. And the kids are having this debate, right? And their kids are debating while they're digging into their Cracker Jack boxes or whatever, or popcorn, about if the Red Rooster is fake or real, and then and that's many ways setting up the theme of the entire story. And the youngest boy believes in it entirely, and the other guy is saying, he's just an actor, and likely it is because these sort of serials were all recreations, right? And it's kind of introducing one of the themes, is it part of this is fantasy. And part of it is just faith and belief in these heroes. And that's the resonance that carries on through the Red Rooster's downfall and into his comeback story. Is that influence he's able to strike through the kids, that exemplar of heroism, even if it was on the cover of Cracker Jack boxes or in comic books or in bubblegum cards or in a radio serial or in some kind of corny talky movie short or whatever, right? It's the resonance that it has, and the way it was able to inspire the kids and carry that through this very, very dark time that occurs in the world of the Red Rooster.
I love it. It sounds so fucking awesome, dude. We got to create villains. I want to create a villain for. I'm gonna draw a short story. I want to draw a Red Rooster short story, a 4-pager, where I invent my own Red Rooster villain. I think it would be awesome. And I wouldn't make it corny. It wouldn't be like, Eggman. I wouldn't do any of that. That would be stupid.
The Chicken Hawk.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. I would do something pretty good. I mean, we treat this character like Batman. Oh, yes. People are saying, reference Duck Soup. I mean, the Marx Brothers, It's like, what a great period of time in American history. People were hungry. I mean, people were literally hungry, and that drove them to do more extreme things. You look at the cartoons of that era. You know why cartoons aren't funny right now? Cartoons aren't funny because people have everything that they want. Funny, comedy, like that kind of cartoon humor, when people are desperate, that's when it's funny. You look at all of the Looney Tunes of that era. I mean, you look at Tom and Jerry, you look at all these cartoons, they're all about people chasing food. Where's their next meal coming from? You don't see that anymore. You can't see that on, one of these Adventure Time cartoons, whatever the hell they have, Steven Universe. They're not going to do that on this SoCal Thundercats piece of garbage. They're not going to do that. I mean, it's just when desperate times make for better art. They just make for better art. I don't know. It's funny. It's like right now, as comics decline into their own Great Depression, it's so interesting to watch you rise up above it and present, your superhero world that takes place in the heart, in the middle of the Great Depression. and you're working your heart out for it. I mean, it's it's really kind of deep and meaningful. Go Jurified, thanks for $2. Villain insanity clause, referring to the Marx Brothers. Okay, there's no insanity clause. I love the Marx Brothers.
I'm a big Buster Keaton fan, so I mean that comes out of that same era. Look what he did, the physicality and the genius behind some of that stuff. I mean, absolutely amazing.
His wife took all his money.
Oh,
did you know that?
I didn't.
Like, he spent all of the 1920s, like the late teens and then early 20s, kind of like where we're at right now. Think about this, Mitch. Think about you as Buster Keaton right now, 100 years later, because he started around 1918, okay? It's now 2018. You're beginning to become a young, innovative man, an artist at the top of his game, experimental, thinking about trying things like, hey, I'm going to run a locomotive, all across the Midwest. I'm going to, run around on it and do all this comic. I'm going to bring in a lot of money. I'm going to really influence people. I'm going to risk my life. Did you see that one sequence from like 7 Chances where he was running down a hill being chased by boulders?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to do that. And then your wife, then Elizabeth divorces you because you're an alcoholic. This is where it's all going to lead. Days of Clarity, thanks for $2. Is art style deliberately impressionist style? Do you feel like you're an impressionist?
Not really. I don't know. I have an expressive hand. I'm just trying to get the art done fast and make it fun.
It's more representative, I would think.
I think so.
Impressionist. So that's the whole thing. The Buster Keaton basically had to stop doing. He was no longer the artiste, and he had to start doing garbage work with the people from the Three Stooges. He was working with Clyde Bruckner and all that stuff. That's a very, very sad story. But
it sounds like you're blaming a woman now. It sounds like you're blaming women.
I wouldn't say. Well, yes, I am. I am blaming women for the destruction of Buster Keaton.
Well, that's a Jimmy Buffett song, isn't it?
What's the Jimmy Buffett song?
Some people say that there's a woman to blame.
No.
Well, Elizabeth isn't going anywhere, so you guys are stuck with her and me for life.
That's good. Well, don't descend into alcoholism. That's what I'm saying.
Ethan,
I think you struck a note of truth in that. It's not just the cartoons and stuff that were funny and whatnot. It's the writing overall was better because there was this general acquaintance with grief that, like you're saying, we're such a spoiled generation that most of us, we don't know what actual grief or pain or hunger are. And that's what drives great art. It's like, if you don't know an emotion, how are you going to duly present that emotion, whether it's in prose or in comics or whatever? It's really hard to touch someone's heart when your heart's never been touched.
Real comedy is oftentimes in suffering. Cecil, please, could you mute, please, Cecil? I'm sorry, buddy. Or get headphones on. Real comedy just seems to be in suffering a lot of times because you can relate to that. You can say, I've been through that. I know what that feels like, So when you're watching those old movies that came out, those old cartoons that came out, during the 1930s, I mean, that's, those farmers that went to spend their 10 cents to see a Marx Brothers movie. I mean, that was a real break from their own suffering. And when they would see, those characters like, Harpo and not Zeppo, Chico suffering, looking to scam on the streets for peanuts. They understood that. They understood their desperation, and they found it was funny to them. Now, I don't think the comedy is the same because of that.
Was the tramp was like half the country.
yeah, definitely. Hey, some guy on the internet, thanks for $5. I accidentally sent $5. Can you send me 200 in British pounds? Oh, yeah. Okay, very funny.
But SJWs can't really do humor, because humor is about humor always has a seed of legitimate pain, right? Always there's a scene of a legitimate pain, and they want everything to be safe and sterile and boring and gray and drab and really remove anything human about it. I mean, they want to inflict pain, but they don't want people to express how they interact with pain in real and legitimate ways.
They do. They like it's all their mockery is all outwards these days. It's not really inwards. Like, well, in the old days, like a pie in the face was funny. It still is. You get to see someone else suffering a little bit. But it's mostly because your own life was also so much of suffering. But just the comedy tended to sort of be about themselves. It was always sort of you could relate to it. You knew that you were laughing at yourself more than you were laughing at someone else. You weren't tormenting anyone else. I absolutely love. I'm excited about this now. I want to go back to the 1930s with Red Rooster and the Breitweisers, and visit that world that I never got to see, but I know so well. I love old movies. Absolutely love old movies and radio.
Well, we're of that generation where that's all there was on TV when we were kids, besides the
last. Yeah, we'll be the last one, right? Oh,
yeah,
that was weird. Anybody hear that?
I did hear that. That was Satan.
Yeah. No, they were saying we sold our soul to the devil.
Crossroads, didn't you? You really did.
It was worth it. It was worth it. What is that?
I don't even hear what you're talking about.
I heard it. That's crazy.
Ethan's superhero was the Shadow, says Mortal V. Not true. It was, Batman. I don't know. Who was my Superman? Definitely Superman. Someone's saying that it's Mark Waid. That's Mark Waid making that noise. I don't know. Is that the ghost of Mark Waid? Mortal V says Cecil wears his persona mask all the time, but his true self is a lonely man. That's not nice.
Oh.
Why would you say that? Sweet Tooth says, can a drunk chaplain be a villain? Lost his job to Red Rooster. What if, by the way, Charlie Chaplin was a Red Rooster? And why couldn't he be? Like, he was royalty. I mean, Charlie Chaplin. I mean, I don't know. Well, this is a question, Mitch. Like, are the Red Roosters, have they traditionally been rural, poor, kind of, Midwestern?
No. So the Red Rooster mantle is passed from generation to generation. Our Red Rooster is from, I guess what I just call like flyover country, even though I'm not crazy about that word. But and he is trained on the battlefield of World War I, almost like impromptu, by the current Red Rooster, who's more the Red Rooster of that era, who's a pilot, right? If a dashing Errol Flynn in a red scarf with a rooster painted on the side of his biplane. And he notices this kid has talent. But you're going to find out later in the story that he might have actually trained someone else back home. But knowing that he might not be long because the war was so brutal and the death was so indiscriminate, right? So even your talents couldn't escape a stray bullet. That he decided to train this Frank Cooper, and it was almost impromptu and definitely not complete. And Frank Cooper comes back to the States a veteran and decides to take this mantle on totally, and then gathers around him a set of allies to help him. But you're going to find out that the Red Rooster, I do want to have a Red Rooster at the Alamo. I think that's super important. I have some scenes in mind. I don't want to spoil those. If we can get that far, and I know we can. There's so many stories to tell that could be told. I want to.
Red Rooster be Sir Lancelot.
I want to go back. Oh, that's actually that's a possibility. I want to go back to I want to take it back to Templars and stuff like that, right? And maybe even before. So you'd have like a knight with he would be the Lecoq. Whoa. Maybe it's me. Lecoq Rouge, right? The knight, like a French landless knight. I want to have a Red Rooster who's like an escaped slave who becomes one of Washington's chief spies, right, for the Revolutionary War. There's a native component to some of it. It's not exclusive to men. So I think there's infinite worlds to color with this mantle and this credo, which is Edwin read the credo on my channel as we signed off and before we jumped on here, and he did a beautiful job. And so all it is it's a snippet from a longer passage, but it's like this idea, this set of ideals, these set of values and responsibilities that are passed from generation to generation that are meant to remain pure and constant, and they'll resonate through history. So, yeah.
Nick Sona Trash says for $2, what if Cecil was Hitler in a past life? Cecil, do you want to address that by any chance?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was not Hitler in a past life.
Chris
Did
in
you
Oregon, thanks
punch
for
Hitler in a past life?
yes.
I would punch Hitler, sure.
I would too. Yeah, I think that's a given.
Chris in Oregon, thanks for $5. I once saw a daguerreotype of Buster Keaton coming out of an outhouse with Fatty Arbuckle and Errol Flynn. Weird. That's a lie. Gojurified, thanks for $5. Was there a World War I German ace that the original Rooster battled against?
You will see. Whoa.
That is you.
Yeah.
I like it. Blade Runner 10, thanks for $5. I feel any story, be it a comic or a book, is more poignant if it has a thread of melancholy or nostalgia about it. Yeah, I agree. Sith Kryptonian, thanks for $5. Is it me, or does Chicken Hawk actually sound like a dope name for a nemesis to Red Rooster?
I've had a couple people tell me that. I'll consider it.
I drew that battle today.
No,
Really?
I missed that.
Oh, you did?
I've
It's on
seen so much art.
Yeah, I did a live stream today for Red Rooster Day, and I did a little, and someone suggested him battling Chicken Hawk, so I.
You made up the Chicken Hawk?
No, it's Chicken Hawk from Looney Tunes.
Oh, I know what you. Yeah, okay, I gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, Red Rooster is really just a cheap Foghorn Leghorn knockoff. I've been found out. But then again, Cyber Frog is just a cheap Ninja Turtles knockoff. So there we go.
Oh, how dare you? Was the Urban Dictionary page for Red Rooster inspiration at all? Says some guy on the internet for $5. Don't check that. That's not good.
It better not be porn.
It is porn. Doran Grimblade, thanks for $5. Trump as Red Rooster of 2018. Yeah, I don't know.
People talk about these celebrities being Red Rooster. What might be interesting is seeing some of these celebrities or these historical figures being in the order of the dome.
Mike, that's your microphone. I'm pretty sure that was giving us that devil growl.
This?
I think it was the feedback.
Huh.
Yeah, I was hearing some.
Maybe
really
turn it down.
bizarre
Maybe
feedback.
turn your speakers down just a little, or put a headset on.
My headset back.
You sounded
Okay.
cool, but really intimidating when you came through like that, Edwin.
Now,
better?
Edwin, yeah, that's much better. Thank you.
All
Edwin, when you were asking a question about, instead of historical figures, that what now they would.
Okay, so people were talking about like historical figures or celebrities being a Red Rooster, and I don't know if that makes sense. But what might make sense is some of them being members of the Order of the Dome.
Yeah, so people that are in on it, like George Washington would have been a member, right? I mean, he wouldn't have been a Red Rooster, but he was a guy that could have called upon the Red Rooster, right? So yes, I totally get that. Yeah, well-connected people that can sort of that are interested in service, acts of service.
I'm going to have to go shortly. I've got Real World, which is unfortunately going to impinge upon this. Ethan, can I read the pledge, the Red Rooster's pledge, one more time because it's so good. It's so
I
good.
do want to hear it.
Mark Pellegrini has rewritten this, and it's so good. And I want to get it stuck in people's head.
I wrote the last lines though. I don't want to give Mark all the credit. Mark's a genius. Mark's a genius, but I did write the last two lines.
All right. And so hopefully, we understand that this is a story and so forth. Well, hopefully this is something that can bring you some courage. This is the Red Rooster's pledge. I shall stand watch when the clock strikes foul, a burning beacon to fiend's own prow. Ignite the shadows till the last is gone. Light braves the darkness. Darkness fears the Dome.
Awesome.
Love it.
Absolutely awesome. You guys are the best. I'm really so excited about this. Guys, the link to Red Rooster Golden Age is in the description. If you want to go over there, throw $25, throw $50, throw $40 at this thing. There are a bunch of different tiers. For $100, you get the comic, you get a sketchbook, and you get a head sketch. Everyone in the chat really should support this. I'm going to read some super chats now. Edwin, you can go if you want to go, if you need to go. We love you, buddy.
I'm gonna bounce. I got to work in the morning too. But this is at 42,893. It's exciting, man. So far, that's great. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, pretty good for the first half of the day. So let's go through these and see what's up. Vile Delinquent, $2. Cancer Cast is done. Invite Nurkish on. JR, $2. Ethan, trim your nose hairs. We can't hear you. Come on.
There is a whistling. I hear it.
There isn't. There isn't. I do trim them.
No,
IXI, thanks. I hear all kinds of stuff coming from your side. I don't say anything.
I've been muting myself all night like a gentleman, but clip your nose hair.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
For your wife, at least, if not for us.
Well, I'll double check. IXI, thanks for $2. Red Rooster needs to glug embarrassingly in a panel. Oh my God.
I'll do it right now.
Okay, go ahead. Great. See, it's not just me, guys. Okay. It's not just me. Mitch does it too.
That was disgusting.
No.
Everybody glug.
Glug.
Mega Monkey Chunk, thanks for $5. Remember to hashtag show your cock by tweeting out your pledge to Red Roosters Indiegogo. The bigger, the better.
Yes.
Master, is that did you start that campaign, that hashtag show your cock?
I did. I'm not saying I started anything. I think it's all organic.
Rock out with your cock out. Master 13, $2. I'm sad I never get invites to these. What do you mean? You're right here. Outpatient, Canadian, $2. EVS, Red Rooster had soy pants too. He's talking about the striped pants.
I love the striped pants.
I like them too. Blue Satoshi, thanks for $5. I got the perfect name for a fictional helicopter. Pino CH-37 Water Drop, alternate code name The Reds Menace. CD, thanks for $5. If you could do a soundtrack to this comic, what type of music would you have on it, Mitch? I think it would be awesome, especially with that time period.
Hip hop music.
I
like the
a lot
contrast.
of people in the chat, Ethan, are saying that you're kind of low.
You sound fine to me.
Yeah, it's weird. Your voice is low, but every time you take a sip of water, it sounds like Niagara Falls.
Anyway, that's a lie. It's all a lie.
Ethan, you can mute him from your end.
I would like to. I might do it. Ion Lucas, thanks for $5. Incelsior, Break All Day, $1.99. Ihi, why did you draw Cecil a new avatar? I didn't. Blue Satoshi, thanks for $5. Brightweiser, check out the Miagature for research on the Fourth Dimension 4D Man. Maybe also the series Imagining the 10th Dimension. Yeah. Gojirify, $5. Congrats, backed at $50. Need a stretch goal, Red Rooster travel alarm clock. Oh, that's interesting. You get us to go, whatever.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, can you imagine if like the wrong person got a hold of this character and started writing him? Cockadoodle, don't, bad guy. That would suck. Blue Satoshi, thanks for $5. Red Rooster, be sure to drink your Ovaltine. What if it's a secret serum? Also, Dr. Eggman's already a Sonic villain. It's true. Gojirified, thanks for $2. Villain, Insanity Clause. Days of Clarity, thanks for $2. Is the art. Okay, we read that one. Okay, Dynamite Lil, thanks for $5. Get the period cars right for Red Rooster. I can help. So you got to make sure that you get all the period stuff correct.
Yeah, we're working on that.
You just draw it in the farm and you never have to draw any of that.
That's true. Yeah, and people were too poor to buy cars.
Exactly.
So everybody walked.
Let's see. Yeah, Blue Satoshi says, I think you skipped all my super chats so far. Blue Satoshi, I got them all now. Paul Garrido, thank you for 10,000 COP. All this gloom talk reminded me about rain is Reddit weather post. Please look it up. Okay. David Dowler, thanks for $5. The Shadow is one of my favorite heroes, whom Dynamite and SJW Cy Spurrier recently ruined. They had him lecture school shooters on white privilege. It's the end of the world. I can't
Finally,
stand it.
thank God.
White privilege. Oh, shut up. We got to get rid of all these people. How many trebuchets can we build and how quick can we build them? President Trump, I know you're working on a wall, but we need trebuchets to put at the
Ethan,
borders
how
of the
come
wall.
everybody took a drink and it sounded normal, but when you drink, it sounds like a sump pump?
I don't know, Cecil, but thank you for asking me that. I'll think about it tonight while I can't sleep.
It's not even. I'm not trying to embarrass you.
I understand. You have good intentions. Some guy on the internet, thanks for $2. They come to snuff the rooster. Dude, hey, that's a good theme song.
That would be good.
Yeah. You know that song, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alice in
definitely.
Chains, the rooster.
Grew up on it.
Break all day, $1.99. Whistle, whistle, whistle. It's just bullshit. Rhino4563, thanks for $5. Mitch, will you be getting hats and shirts made up? That rooster logo is awesome.
I want to get hats with the red comb on the top, the fin, right? I don't know if anybody's going to wear them, but I want to make them. When you talk to Crypto Fashion, Ethan.
Yeah, you want to do that?
Yeah, let's.
Okay.
I want to do They do posters, right? Aren't they doing posters now?
They do posters. They do everything. So I mean, you can get the baseball cap. They're a little bit harder to get, the baseball caps, because they have to outsource them. But yeah, they'll make the T-shirts up for you real quick.
I think the cap with just that the logo of the Order of the
Order
Rooster.
of the Dawn. Yeah.
Cool.
I think that would be cool. Yeah, like a stitched in thing. Yeah, that'd be great. That's
what they do. Yeah, that's what they do. Is Cecil a luchador? Asks Blue Satoshi. Are you?
It's a luchador. That's a Mexican wrestler. No, I'm not.
Okay.
But I do got that look going tonight.
Yeah, you do. It looks good. Sith Kryptonian, thanks for $5. Villain idea, the extra man. Every time somebody insults his pet frog, he increases 1x in shirt size and looks better.
He got you.
Yeah. Justin Kelly, thanks for $4.99. Could you draw my girthy rooster, not porn? Hemolos, thank you for $2. What comes in the 6-piece?
6 signed comic books. It's a bucket. So it's called a 6-piece bucket of chicken, and the bucket is not included. So don't get your hopes up.
Hey, you broke 43,000. You're over 43,000, $48 right now. That's great. Terrific.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yes. Break all day. $1.99. Slasher mask. Cecil. Mike Pronesti for $6.99. Please don't have Red Rooster milk a cow, then drink the milk and have it dribble down his chin. Once was too much for my heart.
He only milks bulls, you know.
Ew. Z Ryan, thanks for $2. Red Rooster is the Captain America for Americans. Oh yeah, nowadays, right?
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. Hudson Skull, $5. Female sidekick modeled after Mae West called Chickadee. Rooster's Robin. People have imaginations here.
I like it.
Beige Devil, $5. Hey EVS, have you seen the garbage on Kickstarter? So low compared to Cyberpunk. How does that make you feel regarding Kickstarter's editorial stance? I did actually, because you said that. I saw you mention that in the chat. I went on Kickstarter and I laughed and laughed and laughed. So many SJW comics failing. I mean, I have never seen. Hey, look, it's this thing. It's $699 pledged of $2,000. These people make $10,000 tops on a Kickstarter. They're all SJW garbage. This was my initial prejudice about Kickstarter. I was just like, yeah, but these are just the books that Dark Horse doesn't want. Listen, that's Kickstarter. They are completely SJW converged. We are Indiegogo is a much better company, and we are showing them how it's done. This one raised $578. This one $567. Here's a Trump comic book.
I think we did that in the first 45 seconds.
Yeah. I know. And these people had it up for days and days. Not to point and laugh, but yeah. Rich Woodall has a Trump hating comic book called Space Force, the comic book. It has raised $3,548.
Yeah,
So
shouldn't it be called Space Farce?
wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Bagel Goose says Cecil is the light of the stream. Of course, Bagel Goose is Cecil in disguise. He thinks we don't know, but we do. Some guy on the internet, Cecil, you could just say that. You don't have to lie to make us like you or be impressed by you. You
I'm
could
not
just
Bagel
say,
Goose.
yes, you are. You
There
could
are
just
some
say,
people who like me.
no, there are lots of people who like you, but Bagel Goose is you. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't need to do that. You could just say, you know what? I feel like I am the light of the stream. Do you guys agree? We would say, yeah, we agree, Cecil, you are. But instead, you go through this great big rigmarole, this gigantic charade. You just
I
don't
do
need
not
to go
through
through
any
it.
machinations. That is, Bagel Goose is his own person.
So where did you get the idea for the name Bagel Goose? Where did that come from?
A bagel once stole my goose.
I see. Okay, Goose won't sell you bagel. Look, we're up at $43,205 right now. 749 backers. In the time that Cecil, hoaxed us, we raised $200 more. This is really incredible. Absolutely incredible. We're going to get to 45. I believe in it. That comic gal. Thanks for $2. Please check out Wanpool. It went live today. Some guy on the internet, $5. I wish I could donate in other currencies so everyone would think I'm wealthy and I could become the de facto Comicsgate Supreme Emperor and JLCC. Yeah,
I'm
you would
donating 80,000 in Venezuelan bolivar.
So many people want to imprison Captain Cummings at this point. I don't want to imprison him. I don't.
Have you gotten any motion on that or any response or anything?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. I wrote to him today and said, "Hey, man, tell me when you want to talk," or something like that. And he said, "Thanks for reaching out. It's not a good time now. Now's not a good time because I'm currently on vacations. I'll let you know when I get back." So when Captain Cummings comes back, if he is of a mind to, we will have the Captain Cummings reunion special. I want to keep it classy. I don't want it to be tacky. There will be, but there will be dancing girls and there will be loud disco music. But it will be a classy show.
My ties for everyone.
Speaking of classy shows and dancing girls, that we're going to have that kind of stuff in the Red Rooster. We're not going to be afraid to have sexy ladies and handsome fellas. And that's the way it used to be. That's the way we're going to do it from here on out.
Nice. Look at this.
No special guest starring Faith.
No. No.
I like that Diversity in Comics was just like, sorry I missed this video. Sorry I missed being a part of this. I was recording the video. And
sorry.
Mike Miller's like, it's still on. And then nothing. That's my favorite. Let's see. Please mail this $2 to Cecil. Cecil for life. That's from Tim King.
No, I won't. $2 fucking, Ethan.
I'm not. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. Blue Satoshi. I'm keeping it for all the insults. I know. $5. The only way to unmask Cecil is to best him at masked wrestling. Good luck. I guess he's going to stay masked. Blade Runner 10. Thanks for $5. I'm curious. What does Red Rooster drive? An Eggmobile? Does he have a headquarters? A hen house?
A motorcycle and a barn.
How do you like that? It doesn't get much more badass than that.
Hey, Mitch, do you do you draw traditionally? Because I see you do a lot of stuff digitally. Do you draw your pages?
I have inked traditionally, and I paint. Like this Red Rooster cover image is obviously a digital paint job. But I sketch, I pencil like this in the computer. So this is all, I'm really comfortable like doing these sort of gray tone pencils in Photoshop or on my iPad Pro. And then I print them in reverse and then Lightbox and inked drawing. And that's what that's what I was working on today.
No, can I ask you a question? I know there's a lot of money in selling the original art. Like if you draw on paper, to sell the original paper pages, does that concern you? Like maybe you should draw right on paper?
I am drawing right on paper. I mean, I'm inking on paper.
Oh, you ink it. Okay. So
yeah, they're real.
I gotcha.
Yeah. And then what we're doing, so if you buy a piece of original art, you're going to get the original page, right? And so to like plus it, basically, Elizabeth is going to, we have we can do these gallery quality 13 by 19 printouts in like a 6 ink color process in the studio, and Elizabeth's going to print out her colors of the corresponding page, and she'll sign it, and you'll have a matching drawing signed by me, and then a matching colored page signed by Elizabeth, and we're even going to have Mark sign the script for that page too, so you can have the set by the whole team. So that's the $1,000 package. You also get all the other goodies at the $1,000 package, of course, right? You get your name in the back of the book. You get to be in the Order of the Dawn, which what we're going to do for the Order of the Dawn package. That's the $200 package. That's for everybody that wants in our secret society, and I'm for real. So we're going to make these what is it called? Die struck pins. It's like the kind of pins that you see. Like if you walk into like a nice executive office and a guy's got like a nice cool looking pin that lets everybody know he's in like some like cool society where they.
Oh, wait a minute! That you really meant the pen, like a drawing pen?
No, like a pin, like a lapel pin, And it's going to be Order of the Dawn. With
like a pen you could write with?
No,
P-I-N.
lapel pin.
Like your head.
Pin. Am I saying this weird? Am I saying it weird?
Because you have to fix it on your Indiegogo. It says the word pen instead of pin. It says lapel pen, P-E-N.
Are you serious?
No joke. Take a look.
Oh crap.
Of course, lapel pens are also nice.
Yeah.
It says that, right?
Well, I need a proofreader. I made one mistake.
And you if nobody's ordered it, you can still change it.
I think people have ordered it.
Luckily, Mike
I hope they're not expecting a pen.
Well, they'll be surprised because they'll get something a little cooler than that.
Colonel Comics, $2. Will Cecil's mask be in future Red Rooster books? Doubt it.
No, well, I do have. You can be drawn in the book. So, I mean, if Cecil wants to give me $2,000, I'll draw him in anything he wants.
I want to give it to you.
I love it.
Yeah, I'll draw him in a banana hammock if he wants.
Please don't.
Some guy on the internet, $2, says, "I want my pen."
I'm in trouble now.
People want to know if there's a fan blowing your hair, or if a ghost is doing that to your hair right now.
It's a fan.
I wish I had that much hair. I really do.
I wish you had that much hair too, Ethan.
I'll send you some.
Yeah, you guys are lucky. I'll tell you, it sucks. Mark Hamill needs to lay off the Trump hating. I try to ignore it because he's still Luke to me, says Aaron Nottingham. What do you guys think of Mark Hamill laying off the Trump hating?
I don't know. He's old enough he could do whatever the hell he wants, I suppose. But.
Yeah. That comic gal, $2. $2 for you to say, go buy Juan Pool. All right, well, the comic gal has a book called Juan Pool. It's actually spelled like Juan, like the Latino, like Mexican name. Yeah, Juan, Juan Pool.
Isn't that Mr. Marvel?
No, it's an old joke. It's what do you call two Mexicans playing basketball, one-on-one? Yeah, $2 for you to say, go buy Juan Pool, thank you. And do go buy it. Do go check it out. Appreciate you. Blue Satoshi, I want my $2. Cecil, probably. Yanni Huel, thanks for Mexican $20. Is Cecil Red Rooster's nemesis? He's everyone's nemesis. Rhino, thanks for $2. Cecil, just use your brother-in-law's credit card. Oh,
I already did.
It's maxed out.
No, I think I'm number 3 or 4.
Oh wow. I'm honored. Tell your brother-in-law I'm honored.
It was me who did it.
It says pen in the description, but it says pin in the list of rewards. So you might be covered. Somebody suggests that maybe Elizabeth is waving an ostrich feather at you from off screen, and that's why your hair is blowing away a little bit.
Yes, she's in a chainmail bikini. Right off the side here. And,
whoa, what did I miss?
Yeah. Hey, Mitch, getting some pens made up wouldn't cost too much. That's probably true. I mean, you could get some
Just
pens
throw them
made.
in there.
We're gonna make them really nice. Like these are like something you can wear on your sports jacket, right? Like yeah. So it'll cost a little more than just a button. Like they're not buttons. They're pins.
We are now up to $43,477. Halfway on our way to 44. Thank you guys so much for all of your support.
What do you expect the first 24 hours to be?
I temper my expectations. But
All right,
keep my
Ethan, what do you
enthusiasm
think?
I just need it to be 95.
Whoa.
I won't be disappointed if it doesn't get there. I'll be okay.
Where were you at 24 hours?
94.
94.
Dang.
So it needs to be
No.
9402.
No, well, yeah, that's fine. I'd like to see 95. It is tough going. I remember like live streaming nonstop. I mean, the first day, Zach told me, he's like, just don't get off the internet. I was on there nonstop shilling for Cyberfrog. And I told Andrew, I said, I am going to be working for the Breitweisers today. So, I let you guys get started the first, like, as soon as you launched. And then as soon as you guys kind of wound down a little bit, that's when I started. And I think I did pretty good.
You did, dude. It rolled all day long. I think the only really lull we had was in the drive time. People driving home from work, eating dinner.
I shilled as best as I could, but I only had like 450 subscribers at the time, so I think they already.
Ethan
were all
even
already
went
guys.
over onto Nurkish, and in between Nurkish's horror stories, Ethan actually pumped up Red Rooster. He was
Wow.
pumping you everywhere.
I felt pumped all day, totally jacked.
Looking real jacked.
Some guy on the internet says, will Red Rooster subvert expectations? Well, he thinks, he's suggesting that you might be like Rian Johnson, director of The Last Jedi.
Ooh. I suppose, I think a little bit of subversion is with the character, right? He's a man in a chicken costume, but we're playing it straight. So I think that's kind of baked into the cake, but I don't think it's the kind of subversion that Rian Johnson is after.
So you're a fan of The Last Jedi?
Greatest work of filmmaking in all of history.
Okay.
That was sarcasm. So what do you think about this idea, though? Because, you have a book about a man dressed like a rooster. I've got a book about a frog. And when people call it like a frog book, I'm like, I just look at them like, it's like I'm already so used to the fact that my character is frog based that I don't even see it as silly. Like he's a real character to me, and the world that he lives in and inhabits is real. So I'm just kind of like, I guess you'll see. Now, is that something with you too? I mean, people go Red Rooster, so he's a guy that dresses like a chicken. Now you have to kind of, with all superheroes, you have to get over that, don't you? Right away.
Yeah, we're asking you right on the cover to suspend just a little bit of disbelief to come along on our joyride. I think it's right there on the surface. We're not pulling your leg on it, or your wing, or your frog leg.
The leg is fun. Pulling your drumstick. I just feel like I remember like Legion of Superheroes, seeing that as a kid when I was a big Marvel fan, and I'd go, how could I possibly read a book with a character called Saturn Boy in it, or Saturn Girl, and Lightning Lad? Like, it was just like those names strike you as like so silly, but like once you kind of get past that, the depth, the wealth of just greatness, takes you away. And I think that's kind of, the more I learn about Red Rooster, the more I realize that it's kind of the book I was waiting for. I want to live in the 1930s. I wish I was born in 1919. I want to be, wait a second, I want to be, 1919, 1920. I want to be old enough to feel the Depression. I really understand the Depression. I don't want to be a child in the Depression. I'd like to be a teenager or so. And then I'd like to be old enough to go fight the Nazis or the Japs, so to speak. Sorry, Mike.
You would have been fighting my grandfather.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then I really want to do it. I want to go fight my grandfather in World War II. I want to do that. I want to live in that honorable time period where people just, I don't know. They were hungry. It was important. Like things mattered to them.
Moments mattered. They didn't take moments for granted, and that's kind of, I think, we just take so much for granted. But I don't want to drift off into that topic, really. But yeah.
Well, we do, and
by all means, let's.
But
Yeah,
every moment
I
does
like
matter in a comic book, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we're not wasting a page. We don't want to waste a panel. It's in that same spirit, right? It's like we're trying to get every ounce of gravity out of every single page that we can. And I'm really thankful that Mark Pellegrini's on board because he's. I mean, we plotted this very, very closely together, but on every page, just about every page he turns in, there's something. He pluses every page, and I think Mark is a superstar. We haven't talked about Mark enough tonight, so I think you guys in your audience are going to be seeing a lot more from Mark Pellegrini. He puts his nose to the grind. He gets his work done, and he puts something special on every single page.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Do you guys want to go back to World War II with me and find the Japanese guy whose ancestor or whose descendant creates tentacle porn, hentai, and just put a bullet right in his head? Like, he escaped. I mean, if you really think about what happened, like, you think about history and you go, okay, look, they dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan, and the guy that created hentai survived. You know what I mean? Like, we probably got like a lot of decent like people who would have, you know, invented important things, but it's just like yeah, we missed the guy who created La Blue Girl. Like, he survived.
Would you do that at the expense of Kurt Eichenwald jokes, Ethan? I'm not so sure.
Let me think. Well, I mean, he would get into something else. He would get into something else. Kurt Eichenwald is funny. He used to send me threatening Twitter messages. Did you guys know that?
Yes, bizarre. Absolutely bizarre.
He said, "You better call me." He said, "You better call me, bitch." I said, "Okay, you're a bitch." And he said, "No, I mean, call me up. You got to call me up. I want to tell you a few things." I never called him. We could call him now. I have his phone number. We can call him now. He said he wanted me to call. He didn't specify when. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that's the thing. Okay, so we go to Japan, and we fight in World War II, or we fight the Nazis. And then we come home, guys. You and me, not Cecil. He would have been 4F, you know. But we come home and we buy houses for our wives in Levittown. We become the man in the gray flannel suit, drinking a lot of highballs.
I got flat feet.
Working on Madison Avenue. And then we
build a great big company
Mm-hmm.
and take the world by storm.
We invent. What would we invent? Because we have prior knowledge. So what would we invent to Apple computer? I mean, I guess we'd have to find something from the 50s that we'd invent.
Why wouldn't we just invent a giant comic book company?
Ooh.
Because all of them went out of business.
Yeah, we could do that. We could stop the feminine mystique from being written. That would have been good.
So we'd be a book publisher.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gatekeep everything to prevent the SJW apocalypse.
I would love that. Yeah, we could find the points in history where SJWs are born, and then just stop it. Just make it happen. Everyone's saying stop EVS. No, you cannot say. Well, I mean, you know, I don't know. It's just I'm fantasizing, guys. I'm fantasizing. Invent gay Bobby Drake in the 50s. We could do that. We could stop soy. People are saying don't say gatekeep.
Bad word. I got it. Yeah.
Everyone hates that word. We could stop the Beatles. Now that is a good idea. I have said over and over again that I would like to go back in time and stop the Beatles by working with them. I would join the Beatles and I would give them songs from the 90s to play. I'd be like, this is a song I wrote called Ice Ice Baby. And then, you know what I mean? And then just let John and Paul like run with it. God, that'd be cool. What do you think? What other thing in the hood?
I've had that fantasy before too, right? It's yeah, that's funny.
If you want to stop the Beatles, you just kill George Martin.
Really, that's true.
I think the Beatles would have been the Kinks without George Martin. The real super rock and roll band of all time is Rolling Stones. Fact.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't
like the Beatles were more pop rock and roll until they started changing. And then they were, I don't know. I don't think.
They had George Martin, who made them into a supergroup, who produced them, and
I know, but it was more like
find them.
pop. I mean, it was pop of the day more so than like hardcore rock
Listen,
and roll.
Hard Day's Night, all that was pop, and then all of a sudden they became something else.
Yeah, but Rolling Stones was never pop. You know, Rolling Stones was
No, they
always
were fucking rock and roll, the world's greatest rock and roll band.
Yeah, I think all their songs sound the same though, Cecil. I mean, it wasn't until the Beatles started getting trippy that the Stones tried to get trippy, but mostly their songs sound somewhat.
That's what kept the Beatles fresh. They kept evolving. You know, the Beatles evolved all the way until they broke up.
Oh my God, what did the Beatles sound like? Well, unless you're talking about 1964, you don't know what the Beatles sound like. They sound like a million different things.
Yeah, yeah.
The Beatles were only around for 6 years.
Michael Prenesti, thanks for
go back. 6 years. The whole run of the Beatles was 6 years.
The whole run in America, maybe they were in freaking Britain and Germany.
Their first album to their last album was 6 years.
Their first album was
64 to 70 or 71.
No. 64 is when they came to America. They were already a hit band before that.
Before that, they didn't exist.
You don't know anything about the Beatles, do you?
Clearly, he does not.
I might be thinking of the Monkees.
I saw them live. Michael Nesmith was not there, but I still have the T-shirt from when I was in middle school when I went and I saw the Monkees.
Yeah, I would like to see the Monkees. I did. I met 3 of the Monkees. I have not met the one. I have not met what's his name, the guy whose mom invented the.
Michael Nesmith.
Michael Nesmith. I never got to meet, but I got everyone else's autograph. I met all the rest of the Monkees.
Hey, did you ever?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, did you ever see Michael Nesmith's very short-lived variety show, Television Parts?
No.
Guys, I'm going to interrupt you. We are at $44,721. Somebody bought an original page of art, and they're going to get a beautiful, one-of-a-kind color gallery quality printing by Elizabeth Breitweiser of the corresponding page, and they're going to hang it on their wall and cherish it forever and ever.
Not bad.
What a great! Oh my gosh, guys!
Beautiful.
That's how you jump forward. That's light speed. That is light speed.
So someone has done something very special this evening. They have bought our second out of 40 available. And if I cherish these pages. I cherish these pages. I don't want to give them up, but I'm going to give them up because I know they're going to be valuable. I believe in this book. I believe in what we're doing. I believe the art is going to be worth something. I would only give it up. I would only give it up if because I know we're building something. Elizabeth and I, Mark Pellegrini, others in this sort of comic book new age that's going to trump the modern age that Cecil believes is the best age.
Yes.
So Cecil,
you guys are part of the modern age, so you can't knock it.
Time will tell. So thank you, whoever did that.
Age. Oh, by the way, Robert Harkin just put out a picture right now of Red Rooster versus Cecil Galactus.
I am looking at it right now. It's horrifying. Oh my God. It is horrifying. Can I show it? How do I show it? Let's see.
Where is it on Twitter?
It's on Twitter. Robert Harkin's been working overtime. He just pumped shit out. He had Red Rooster versus Mecha Godzilla the other day, which was awesome.
Hey, let me read some super chats here. Edwin's here.
Sure. Cecil.
He says, Edwin says, we're listening and eating dinner. My wife says, tell Cecil, no, the key to the Beatles was Brian Epstein. So you'd have to whack out Brian Epstein. Rhino, do you know who Brian Epstein is, Cecil?
I know exactly who he is, but it's George Martin. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And by the way, the Beatles went from 1962 to 1970. It was 8 years. 62 to 70, their entire career was 8 years, not 6. I made a mistake. I looked it up.
Rhino, thanks for $5. Uncle, if you could go back in time and punch, would you punch Baby Roundhead in the face? No.
No, why would you punch a baby?
Throw him in a wood chipper. GR People, thanks for $2. I don't know. Floyd and Zeppelin are my faves. Mike Prenesti, go back and give Rowan Johnson's parents a condom. Carlton76, Mitch, I backed for $100 and I really want to get a lapel pin. Any chance you can offer them up separately or as a stretch goal?
I have one more correction to make. Cecil, Pete Best joined the Beatles in 1960. Ringo Starr joined the Beatles in 1962. The band existed.
Pete Best was the original drummer. Pete Best.
That's right. That's right. 1960. That's when they formed the band.
No, but they weren't the Beatles.
That's when they formed the band. They were the Beatles. They were the Beatles without Ringo Starr.
No, they were Berlin Beat.
No, they weren't. They were the Beatles.
I made that up. All right.
I don't think you're going to trump me and Ethan on Beatles.
Not at all.
I saw Paul McCartney in October at the Nassau Coliseum, and Billy Joel came out and did 4 songs with them. So.
How was it? Was it good?
It's fucking awesome, yeah.
Yeah, we saw Paul McCartney. I've seen him like 6 or 7 times, but we saw him a couple years ago with Andrea. She was bored stiff.
I saw Billy Joel last year at the Garden. He does the monthly show, and every month he pulls out a new guest star. And my favorite musician of all time is David Bowie. And I kept dreaming that David Bowie would come out with him, and then like a month later, Bowie died. I didn't realize he was that sick. But Isaac Perlman, the violinist, came out and did Downeaster Alexa, and it was fucking really great.
On the Downeaster Alexa.
I had this world-class violinist playing with him.
Hey, Ethan, have you ever seen the conspiracy theory that Paul McCartney actually died and they replaced him with a guy that won a Paul McCartney lookalike contest?
I believe it. I actually kind of believe it.
It really, I mean,
it all makes sense.
It's a really fairly
together.
Solid conspiracy theory. I'm not sure if I believe it, but no,
stupid,
not pretty solid.
He still doesn't like it. He doesn't believe in it.
I believe it.
You do?
He got taller.
Yeah. Because in the lyrics of Sgt. Pepper, they say Paul is dead, right?
Yep.
They point at it, yeah.
Lady Madonna, children at your feet. Wonder, how you gonna make ends meet?
It's nice. I like Beatles fans.
Yeah.
It's nice to be with Beatles fans, you know? It's the greatest group of all time.
Cecil.
So Elizabeth, I was talking to Elizabeth earlier today, and she said she was listening to Cecil on somebody's show. I don't know whose it was. She said you had great taste in music, Cecil.
I do. She's right.
She's a smart woman. She's always right.
We're now at $44,841. We're now merely $159 away from hitting that $45,000 mark. I mean, this is a telethon. This goes on all night. Well, does it? I don't know.
I don't know. I have to pee. I'll have to get a bottle.
Who here has a real job? Mike, you got a real job?
Nah, I'm unemployed.
Mitch, this is your job.
Shilling is my job now, and then
That's
drawing.
Also, wait, Mitch, you said your favorite music of all time is rap.
No, it's not really my favorite music of all time, but I do enjoy it. I enjoy rap and hip hop. It's fun.
What's your favorite rap of all time? Favorite rapper, band, whatever.
I don't know. I like I like some of I like Kanye, 2 Chainz. I don't know.
Wrong. The answer is Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang
and Biggie.
And Biggie. I do like Biggie. I like his stories he told quite a bit.
I like Kanye's
He's a master storyteller. I do too.
It's really good.
It is good. And he built it up in such a way that it had to be good. Like the stunts he was pulling, it had to be good, and he delivered.
I'm not a huge Kanye fan, but I really like the new album. It's really good.
I think he's a smart man.
He thinks he's a smart man too.
He does, but he sells, and you guys are selling too. So
Yeah.
Hell, thank you for $5.
Hey man, he's Team Trump.
MMO gaming style, pee bottle and poop sock. So, do people do that? Are there gamers that actually poop in a sock?
Please tell me that's not true.
I really hope that's not true. That's the worst.
what was
thing
that?
I've ever
Poop
heard.
into a sock?
Yeah. Because you don't want to stop playing video games.
Oh
We are now
my
only
God.
$64 away from $45,000. This is a good place to be. I would like to see me get halfway to 95,000. That's where I would like to be right now. Halfway to 95,000. We're at 45. So what do I need to get here? I'm talking like this is
47 and a half. That's where you'd have to be to get halfway to 95.
47 and a half. Okay. That's where we want to be before we go to bed. And we'll just call noon tomorrow. Noon should be the cutoff for the first 24-hour period. We are going to wake up and chill like never before. But the sad thing is that most of your funding is going to come tomorrow night, tomorrow evening, not necessarily tomorrow morning. And
After everybody gets paid.
After payday.
Yeah. I really do have to piss. I'm going to have to skip out for 1 second.
Take a piss.
Go ahead.
Don't you have a sock or something you could shit into?
Cecil, what's a song that you would like to sing right now?
I'm not singing anything.
Why?
I'm shy.
Me too. Fly Cecil to the moon on a big fucking trebuchet. Let him see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold his hand.
My hand.
I don't know how to play this song. I'm sorry. Cecil, come on, give me a song.
What do you know? You give me a song and I'll try to see if I know the lyrics.
Little Barry Manilow?
I saw Barry Manilow. Have you ever seen Barry Manilow?
What do you want to do,
I would
Mandy?
like to.
You have seen him? He does a great show, doesn't he?
Yeah, I haven't seen him. He's coming to Philadelphia, and I wouldn't mind going to see him just for that Coca Cabana.
Yeah,
He'd be like,
I didn't even want to go.
Lola.
Yeah, my wife's aunt and uncle, like, we were in Vegas and they had tickets to Manilow, and I'm like, Manilow. And we went and saw it, and I swear I had the most fun. He's the greatest entertainer. It was
Really?
Yeah.
When you see a professional work, I don't care if it's a guy that's a carpenter or a musician or a ball player. A professional is a professional, and when you watch a professional play, it's something to watch. And he's a pro. He's 80 years old, and he's still singing songs. That's my theory. I have never seen Barry Manilow.
All right, I'm figuring it out.
Are you playing Mandy?
I'm figuring out Mandy right now.
What about I Started a Joke by the Bee Gees? I know that one.
Hold on, one thing at a time. I remember all Cecil's life.
Raining down,
Raining down this
as cold as ice.
Shadows of a man, a face through a window, crying in the night.
The night
goes into the morning, just another day.
Happy people pass my way.
Yeah, that's right. Cecil's way.
I don't know this one.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I don't know the one.
And Cecil never realized how happy I made him. Oh, Cecil. Well,
you came and you gave without taking. But I sent you away, oh Cecil. And you kissed me and stopped me from shaking. And I need you today, oh Cecil.
I think people are going to leave the stream.
How many people died? I know the chorus. I don't know the whole song.
You do know the chorus. I just figured it out in 2 seconds. Barry Manilow songs are pretty easy to learn. The chat's going crazy. Everyone hates it. They're all.
Man, I'm finally
that's
over
what you gotta
500
do.
subscribers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went from 400 to 500 like in the last 24 hours.
45,000.
And you are now
45,396. We were rocking. Yeah. Play more music because then people want to leave and
No,
go
300
spend time
people
on
in
my
the
page.
chat. 300 people in the chat transitioned while we were singing.
Oh, we still got 907
crawled
people
up into their
so
bodies.
not so bad. Not so bad. Bagel Goose, $2. I live for this. That's you, Cecil. Stop lying all the time.
That's not me.
300
A guy
bagels
named
for
Alan
to that
said
music.
my nips are hard. Thank you.
All right. If we can get to 45,500, we'll sing the butter song. All we're looking for now is
I'll sing it with you.
45,500. You will? Okay, that's all we need to do. So if we can get to that, we're doing the butter song, and everything will be right with the world. Will Streeter, $5. Hey, Ethan, I grew up with hardback comics such as Spirou, Gaston, Tintin, and Asterix. Cyberpro will be my first comic purchase in the U.S. I love this. Will Streeter, we love you too, and thank you so much for joining us. Have you back to Red Rooster yet? Have you purchased a copy of Red Rooster? That is the question. The link is in the description below. It's right there. It's easy to do. Go there. Purchase a copy of Red Rooster. Make it a lifestyle. Make it a choice. Make it mean something to you when you press that button. Press that button and stick up your middle finger at the S. You don't have to do that. That's what.
Make it an alternative lifestyle.
This is the foundation that will allow a better world to take over from Marvel and DC.
Gojira5 says this is harmonizing. It's pure Simon and Garfunkel. I know. Me and Cecil really sound good together. Somebody's going to clip that out and make a video of it. That's inevitable. GRP Paul says they should. They play Angie by the Rolling Stones, but Cecil. I don't know.
Yeah, let's all do Bohemian Rhapsody when it hits.
We could do that.
It's the golden number.
Let's see. So Matt the Moose, thanks for $5. Hey Mitch, great job. Just back the $100 tier of Red Rooster. What is the sketchbook that was included with the purchase? Once again, great job.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I've been getting a lot of questions. I thought it was kind of obvious when you say sketchbook, but we're from this like comic book world where if you go to a convention and you ask like an artist, will display their wares and they'll have sketchbooks be full of art, cover designs they didn't use, sketches in their sketchbook, layouts, drawings that didn't get published in their regular works. Vignettes, back matter material, that kind of stuff, like behind the scenes stuff. That's what's in a sketchbook.
Plus the pen he drew it with.
The pen, not the pen. Yeah, so that's what it is. I think some people think it's like an actual like sketchbook that's empty. But I could do that. Maybe you'll just get something with a Red Rooster on the cover and a bunch of blank pages.
That sounds fine. Let's see here. Yami Caleb, $5. Looking for an artist to mix emojis. PM me at Yami Caleb on Twitter. Love the chat tonight. Can't wait for that order of the Dawn pin. Right on. Lord Asherman, thank you for $5. Just got the $75 perk. Can't wait to get the book. Thank you so much for your support. We are taking notice of you guys, and you are rocking and rolling tonight. This is, yeah, I have to admit, this is going just swell.
Mm-hmm.
Kironis, thanks for $1.99. Is Red Rooster's lair called the Hen House?
Stick around. It's not his lair, but we embrace. We're embracing a couple of rooster puns. I don't know, a hen house. I don't want to spoil it, but it might get saucy.
It might be a whorehouse, guys. I'll just spell it out. Carlton76, thanks for $5. Mitch, lapel pin, make it happen for 100 backers, $100 backers, or offer separately. Curse you all for not letting him answer me. LOL. Yeah, that was his question before.
Yeah, he wants a lapel pin. The thing is I'm trying to make the Order of the Dawn tier very, very special. And some people are already backing at that tier. We're going to give you a certificate that inducts you into the Order of the Dawn. And we didn't even mention that. That's going to be a surprise for people that backed that. And you're going to get mentioned in the back of the book on that tier as an order in the Order of the Dawn. So your roll will be called. Your name will be written in the book of life. The Red Rooster Book of Life. Forever and ever. So that's what you're paying for when you get that $200 package. So I might do something a little different for the $100 tier then. That's Order of the Dawn related, but I have to make that $200 package very, very special because they're being invited into our super secret society that no one knows about called the Order of the Dawn.
Better not be porn. Jeff Myers.
Ethan, weren't you already inducted into that order?
I haven't been yet. No.
Yes, on Twitter.
I think.
I was. Yeah. I don't have a pin though yet, so I'll wait for that. Jeff Myers, thanks for $5. Jawbreaker, Cyberfrog, and Red Rooster prove that good guys can and will win. Cecil proves that there will always be a heavy price for victory. Oh, wow. Philip Posey, thanks for $50. Need that blank sketchbook. Cool.
Well, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
That is gigantic. You could take that $50 instead of putting it to a super chat. Well, now it's too late. It's mine. But instead of putting that $50 into a super chat to me, why not just throw it at Red Rooster? I think that would be a good idea. B. Morrissey, thanks for £2. We need moderators for the chat. Congrats to Mitz. I don't think we do. You guys can say whatever you want. This is the Wild West, man. You guys are allowed to say crazy stuff. Yeah. William Palacio, thanks for $2. What animals are some of the villains based on?
A rabbit. And then there's Vermin Eater, and he's more like a man animal who's kind of a cannibal, right? So he's like a manimal. Really just Jackrabbit is the only one, and she's kind of like a disgruntled stage magician, and she's kind of sexy as hell. Yeah, that's the only one that's animal based. I can't take that too far.
Galen Barbie says villain for Red Rooster equals Buffalo Wild Wings. Feel cool, $2. Buttons for kids with $50 tier and up, maybe.
Very possible. So what I want to do, I think the $50, if you buy in at $50, like that price point is perfect for families. And so what I want to do is make sure people at the 50. So let me make this clear. So at the $100 tier, what you're getting now, if we can start, and it looks like we are, like the funding has been incredible so far. I think we're going to hit some really cool stretch goals in the coming days and weeks ahead. And I want to make the $50 tier and the $100 tier and the $75 tier. I want to get you more stuff. I want your package to be more robust. I want it, I think the $50 tier is where like a lot of family budgets are. So I want to give you a substantial package at $50 and $100.
Why don't you read out how much you're at right now?
Okay. $45,503 raised by 768 backers. 303% funded.
Nice.
And that's why we're singing the song. When you are asleep, that's when I creep and I lick
all the butter in your fridge.
When you are not awake, I unwrap your land of lake and I
lick all the butter in your fridge. Butter in your fridge.
The butter
in your fridge.
So have some parquet.
It taints my DNA. When I lick all the butter in your fridge.
And have a pat, a blue bonnet. I
practically
spat
upon
upon
it. I baked all the butter in your fridge.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Well done. Well done. Another milestone reached. Incredible job. We got to
You
hear
made
Mitch's.
Cecil cry.
Really?
I'm
I
not
think so.
crying.
Oh,
20
Alex,
proof
G,
tears.
thanks for $2. Need a robot frog one shot drawn by Cecil. That's possible.
I have no skills of any kind.
Cecil accidentally posted as himself here instead of Bagel Goose. Cecil is Dicking Comics, $2. Is Cecil as cool in real life as he seems online? Whoops, Cecil gave
Oh,
yourself
that
away,
was supposed to
didn't
be Bagel Goose. Sorry.
you? Yeah. Bagel Goose, $2. Jack Rabbit doesn't sound nearly as sexy as Cecil.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Forge, thank you for $2. Your passion for Red Rooster, Mitch, has made me buy a copy. Well, it seems that you did buy a copy. It seems like a lot of people did. Forge.
yes, 768 of you.
Which
That is
means
substantial.
100 of the people watching now have not purchased yet.
What the fuck?
What is that feedback, by the way? Did you guys hear
Yeah, I don't
feedback?
know.
Is that me again?
Might be you. Mute for
Oh
a second.
no, it's not. It's the street sweeper outside my office building.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. It sounds like a low humming, like yeah.
It
All right,
sounds
so
like the
everyone
low
is.
spark of high heel boys.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. It's definitely coming
You know-
from the street.
Everybody's happy that we only lost 50 viewers when we started singing. That always happens. I mean, usually we'll lose about 300 over the course of the musical portion of my live stream. So 50 is not bad at all. I think that's because Mitch was
The
singing.
reason I don't know the lyrics to your song, I immediately check out.
Yeah. Everyone's talking about licking all that butter, hot sauce and biscuit villains. Yeah, those would be good villains. Hot sauce and biscuit. Man, now I want Kentucky Fried Chicken or something, or Popeyes.
Sounds good.
Oh, that would be so. I'm hungry.
I got a
I am
24-hour KFC nearby right here.
I was thinking about just filling up on a beer or something. But
Yeah. Beers. I had 2 beers already, so I'm done for the day.
I've got a big old bottle of Guinness in the fridge waiting for me. I should probably.
Did you say you
I
had
should go
2
grab that.
beers?
A what?
You had
What?
2 beers and you're done for the day?
Yeah. Well, I don't.
That's what Cecil has with breakfast.
Yeah, I don't need to drink to unconsciousness. I just drink till I feel kind of nice, and then it fades, and then it's back to the reality that I am on the live stream on YouTube with Cecil, and then I cope with that. I cope with that in the way that I cope
And it
with
just
all
makes you
hard
want
feelings.
to drink.
Yeah. But we don't. David Dowler, $5. Have you considered making a Streamlabs account and linking to it? They let you keep all of the donation instead of taking 1/3 like YouTube Super Chat. Yeah, people tell me that, but I'm stupid, and I don't know how to do that. So, Jeff Myers, $5. Cecil, you're a good sport, man. You get a lot of abuse. He gives more abuse than he gets. Are you kidding me? He kicks my ass every single day. I barely say anything to him. I'm so nice to him. You get a lot of abuse, and you take it in the roasting stride it's intended. Congrats on Red Rooster, Mitch.
No.
But it's true, Cecil. Everyone's nice to you, and you act like a jerk.
No.
You act like a total jerk.
Listen, Chunky,
No?
you're mean to me.
Do you understand? Do you guys see what I'm saying? Calls me chunky. Tells me I wear a 3XL.
All right,
He's a pride
we're
bull.
losing viewers talking about Cecil. We're down to
No, we're not.
854
It's
now.
also 2 a.m.
Yeah. People could be just going to bed. Some people have to work in the
People are
morning.
passing out. Don't forget, not everything is my fault.
Yeah, it is. Look. Oh, wait. No, everyone's saying Cecil is kindness.
Yeah.
EVS, don't pick on Cecil.
Yes.
Cecil is the victim.
Cecil
Ethan
is
needs to cry in his 2XL hanky.
Yes.
Oh, this is awful. Stop it, EVS.
Yes.
Cecil is a colonizer. Chunky, fighting words, glug,
I'm not
2XL.
a
Look at
colonizer. Glug.
5XL. Cecil, I don't know why you do this.
I don't ask anybody to do anything. They come to my defense because they have a soul and a
You are
conscience.
right.
Cecil did 9/11.
Who said? Did somebody say that? No.
Yeah,
You're
somebody
Cecil must be
9/11.
destroyed.
You thought you could get away with it.
I had nothing to do with it.
I don't know. You had something to do with it. We all did. We all had something to do with it in a way, you know.
I was in Lower Manhattan that day, and all of you guys are posers if you're mourning.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, yeah, I know.
I actually was in Lower Manhattan that day, and I don't think you're posers if you are mourning it.
Cecil destroyed Krypton.
I did.
Duet with Cecil and EVS, I Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley. We can do that if we reach.
I like Elvis, sure. I'll do Elvis.
If we reach $46,000, and we're at 46,563, I will sing "Can't Help Falling in Love" with Cecil.
But my favorite
What's
your favorite Elvis song, Ethan?
Favorite Elvis song is "Trouble."
Wrong.
Looking for trouble.
Best. Blue Christmas is the best Elvis song.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
It's all good. I love Elvis. I listen to him all day long, and Andrea can't stand it. She likes Frank Sinatra. I like him too, but I'm an Elvis guy.
Cecil is fat Elvis. Oh, be nice.
So mean. Tell Mitch to buy a second iPad for showing to Cam, says GR People. Blue Satoshi, thanks for $2. Paul is brain dead for supporting Article 13. Hell, thank you for $5. MMO Gaming Style, okay, we got that. SK Zion 2, thanks for $5. Ethan, you are the Florence Foster Jenkins of the comic book world. I don't know what that means. Does anybody know who Florence Foster Jenkins is?
No.
It sounds familiar. I think she invented birth control.
Oh, really? I wouldn't do that. Bagel Goose says, I live for this. Thank you. Let's see. Just scrolling through and making sure I got all the super chats here. What animals? Will signed Cecil Libre masks ever be for sale, says Will Streeter for $2.
Sure, everything's for sale.
William Palacio, thanks for $2 donation. Emery Calamy, thanks for $2. I want Cecil to write G.I. Joe comics now. Bagel Goose, $2. Lord Cecil is a gift from God, and he is a good lad.
Yes.
Nobody's arguing that.
No one.
I will pay you $440,000 not to have Cecil sing.
By the way, Ethan, Florence Foster Jenkins is a New York heiress who dreamed of becoming an opera singer despite having a terrible singing voice. So she was a rich girl in early New York who people had to put up with her horrible singing just because she came from a wealthy family.
And then she changed her name to Lady Gaga.
And I think that was a dig at me.
No, I don't see how. I'm trying to see what the positive side of that is for me. Like, where's the compliment in that? So a woman, spoiled woman, who sings horrible, and the world has to put up with her. I
don't see the correlation at all.
Booth, somebody wants to know Mitch's YouTube channel.
The Last Comic Book Artist. The Last Comic Book Artist. That's me. I'm going to be doing more YouTube videos, like on the drive to work every morning, and here in the office. Going to do some drawing videos. Going to, shit talk all of you people when you're not around, and reveal all the gossip.
That's what that's why you have to stay tuned. We're at 45,810. We're just $190 away from 46,000.
We're gonna do it. 47.5. That's possible. We just need to get somebody drunk enough to buy another piece of art.
Nice. A couple people want to know what mine is too, and so it's basically just Mike Miller. I mean, it's not hard.
I need to subscribe to you. It's Mike Miller on YouTube.
What a horrible YouTube name. Nobody's going to find you. There were probably 20 of them.
You need something dramatic.
I know. Well, it's like if you search it on the top, it's youtube.com/underdogmike.
Mike Miller's the name I give when I get arrested without a wallet.
Somebody's asking for a Fabio song at 47K. Well, I mean, if we get there, we'll do a Fabio song. I mean, I'm not going to play one. I'll play the song. I'm not going to sing it or anything.
Hey, do you guys know if there's some way to change your name once you've already established it?
Yeah, your Google name. You can change your Google. Yeah, there is a way. They told me I couldn't change it for months, though, if I wanted to change it again.
Oh, really?
You're stuck with The Last Comic Book Artist.
I'm gonna change my Google name because the DICK is apparently puts me in like a category where it's restricted.
Yeah, I don't know why you're not just Cecil 3PO. I really don't get that.
I'm gonna change it to Cecil Says.
Cecil Says is good.
You should change
it's
it
not
to I
original.
sell Cecil down by the seashore.
I like that too. But yeah, apparently I didn't realize when I made that. I didn't realize that diversity, inclusion, compassion, and kindness spelled out dick. I didn't realize that.
I know it's confusing, Mr. McGiblets, but no, I am not Mike Miller, the basketball player.
Pristine Texas says Mike Miller has EVS transcripts going back to the Angel Fire and AOL days. Matt the Moose, $2. Elvis does My Way better than Sinatra.
Okay.
Debatable. I like Elvis's My Way though.
Yeah, it's just a matter of opinion there. I don't think
like
that's a cut and dry thing.
He gets into it.
You know, if everybody
People want you to call
watching
yourself. I'm sorry.
right now subscribe to me, I would almost triple my subscriber base.
Oh, you'll do it. You'll do it.
Yeah, we gotta get people subscribing to Mike Miller.
Yeah, subscribe to Mike Miller. He's gonna be a big artist in this revolution.
Let's see, Ray Thulu, $5 tomorrow. All the astronomers will be freaking out because tonight Cecil's gonna destroy Uranus. That's not. That's
it's terrible.
Obliterated.
Oh, I coined something flippantly today. Comicsgate Alliance.
Oh, I like it.
And people are like, "Oh, that should be the hashtag. That should be the hashtag." Yeah, it seemed to be the word we were all searching for in the big live stream.
Oh yeah, we were talking about community and network and all that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Alliance is pretty good. I like that word, alliance. Yeah, it implies camaraderie, but also a network as well. So you get the best of both.
Indie Dave Comics says, I subscribed to 6 Mike Millers before I got to your channel. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My
now you get it. Now you get it.
It's not my fault.
Mike Miller.
David Dollar. Let me read this real quick. David Dollar, $5. Let me read a super chat. The dude paid $5.
Wait. Let me read this one. Pristine Texas says, Mike's streams are like a warm, clean shower when you feel filthy from watching Cecil and Nurkish.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, makes sense. Mike Miller is the name you give when you rent a jet ski and you're never going to bring it back under any circumstances.
David Dollar, thanks for $5. I've written scripts and stories that I would love to adapt into comics. Tips for finding good artists to work with, things to look for and avoid. Boy, everyone has this question. I get loads. I can't even answer them now because I'm just, there is no answer. What's a tip to find a good artist? Like, I don't know, flip over every rock in Portland, Oregon?
No. I have an answer because I had my own publishing company, so I was always looking for talent. And I don't know if it's the same today, but I used to just go to DeviantArt and look through people's favorites. And people will favorite people who are just really good, even if they've they're not like name talent or anything. And you can really find. I found Sean. Oh no, actually, I found Sean Galloway on Pencil Jack. Remember Pencil Jack?
I was there. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's when I met. That's a funny story. So I lived in San Diego and I moved up to Portland, Oregon. And like right after I moved there, I met Sean. You guys know Sean Galloway? Cheeks?
I know him on the internet. We're friends with each other on the internet, sort of. But I don't know him personally.
He's a really good guy. But the funny thing is we discovered after I got to know him that when I was living in San Diego, I literally lived 2 blocks away from him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if we'd have met before I met, we could have had a little studio or whatever. Cool. But go to DeviantArt. You could probably still find good talent there. I mean, it's the Facebook for artists, so good way to find them.
So Mike,
you know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I want to ask Mike something later. I want us to tell him. I want him to tell us about G-Man because he told my audience about G-Man or Superhero G. I thought it was impressive, and my assistant was here, and he was listening to it, and he thought it sounded really cool. So at some point, Mike, I want to hear more about Superhero G.
Let's hear it
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Did you want to read some chats first?
No. We're okay.
Okay, Superhero G. He's asking because I put him in Comics Gate Alliance print artwork, and he's a superhero character from a book I used to do called The Imaginaries that I used to write, co-write with Ben Avery, and Gregory Titus. You'll know Do you know Gregory Titus, Ethan?
No.
Okay, you look at all of your Star Wars black box art. He did all the art on all of those boxes.
Oh, how about that? Yeah.
So anyways, he drew my book, The Imaginaries, back when I was doing it through Image. And so basically, Superhero G is the imaginary friend of a boy named Tanner. And Tanner, his parents are going through a divorce. And when they come in and tell him they're splitting up, he decides it's time to grow up and throw away all these things that were, childish to him. And one of them is his imaginary friend, which, it was basically he used to draw all these adventures with him, and he'd draw himself into the adventures, and it'd be Hero Boy and Superhero G, and they'd fight giant monsters and all that kind of fun stuff. But when he decided to grow up, he threw away his imaginary friend. And where imaginary friends go when you grow up and stop believing in them is to a world called the Imagined Nation. And so the Imaginaries is a story where these characters all land here and they have to try to find new purpose because their creators don't want them anymore. But Superhero G is like, Tanner needs me. And so he spends his whole time in this world trying to get back home. Now, what happens is the Ice Queen who has taken over the land she was created as a villain, and her purpose as a villain was to conquer. And so she has been devising a way, since she's conquered the Imagined Nation already, she was devising a way to get back to the real world and conquer it. And so at the end of our story, which I never got to finish, I only got about 6 issues in, and then I couldn't afford to do it anymore because we didn't have Indiegogo back then. But we do now. And so, they end up back in the real world. In the real world, Tanner is there, and he believes in Superhero G again. And so he can actually imbue Superhero G with new powers because it is the power of his creativity and imagination that gave him powers to begin with. So he's battling this super huge dude, and he's like, oh, you have laser vision, you have, you can teleport, you have super speed. And it's like he gives him these superpowers like one at a time, and he's like, but anyways, all that to say, that was a standalone story in its own universe. But because I'm creating the Blacklist universe with all of my different characters over the last quarter century that I've been creating and trying to bring them all in, I'm going to have Superhero G remain in this world, and it's going to be Superhero G and Hero Boy. And he's kind of a big, goofy tick kind of character because he is the creation of a child. So that's
Mike, I love it. I think it's really cool. And when I was at lunch, I was thinking about it. Carter, my assistant, he brought it back up, and we talked about it for a minute. And I thought, what's it? Tanner is his name, the boy?
Yeah.
So I thought it would be kind of cool to kind of flip it a little bit and have Tanner enter the Imagined Nation. And then Superhero G kind of has like a point. I mean, like he has a point of view clearly, but I just thought that was you kind of cross the worlds a little bit. Then he has to get Tanner back into the real world, so he's got this extra set of responsibilities. And there's this upside down where you put Tanner in the upside down world, right? And then Superhero G has this real purpose. He really has to save Tanner and stop the Ice Queen. Anyway, I think it's beautiful. I'm so sad I missed this the first time around. Do you own this? Do you own Superhero G?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's beautiful. What do you think, Ethan?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I really like it too.
Thank you.
It's pretty good. By the way, we are at 46,000 right now.
Beautiful.
Even
Very
last I
nice.
checked.
Very nice.
Did we go up again? $46,035. That is tremendous.
Absolutely.
Cecil, are you prepared to sing? What were we singing?
Fabio.
No, we're singing Elvis.
Oh, yeah. All right.
What were we singing? I Can't Help Falling in Love with You?
Yeah. I don't know why they want this.
I'd rather sing Blue Christmas because I like to do the.
Really? How does Blue Christmas go?
I only know the backup part.
I'm dreaming of... Oh no, that's White Christmas.
White Christmas. I'll have a blue
Christmas without you. I'll have
Which song is he playing?
I was trying to play Blue Christmas, but I can't remember it. I've never played it before. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I
Falling in love with you.
Go ahead, I'm keeping up with you guys.
It would be. Wait, why is ringing the
Can't
help falling in love with you.
We fulfilled our end of the deal.
Well, I got somebody banging on my door.
Who is that? Let him in.
Someone's knocking at the door.
Whose door is that?
Mike's.
Oh, Mike.
Mike got 1 million kids. Like he really does.
Kids.
He's got like 5 kids.
Wow.
I know Mitch would grab his AK-47 and chase around the house.
I don't think Mitch would do that.
He
Yeah,
does.
I did once.
He told the story.
I thought somebody broke into the house. You didn't hear that story, Ethan.
No.
Well, there was this it was late at night, almost midnight. I heard this kind of bang. I heard a bang, like somebody banged something outside. And then like a second later, my alarm goes off. I'd already set the alarm for the night, right? And I'm in my studio working. Elizabeth's on the other side of the house, like in bed or something. And I keep a firearm on either end of the house. And I was in my studio where I had a AR-15, not an AK-47. I am not a communist or a terrorist. Cecil.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I just grabbed my weapon because I thought somebody had broken into the house, and I was locked and loaded, like calling for Elizabeth, and she wasn't answering. Anyway, I figured it out. She went out the back door. There was a crash out front. A drunk driver had sideswiped 2 cars right outside of our house, run up onto the sidewalk, and then fled the scene on foot. And it was a whole fun event. I met some cool neighbors,
And luckily, Mitch killed them all.
I did. I slaughtered all of them. The laws are really loose around here, with guns.
It's good. That was good. Yeah, just to be sure, just put one in everyone.
I was getting swatted. No, my daughter, she's baking, and the power to the oven went off, so I had to go and reset the breaker. She's all freaking out. She gets really.
How many kids you got over there, Mike?
5.
5.
Wow.
Good man.
Yes.
Good man. I have 0. But also, people congratulate me for that as well. It's all relative. And where are you? You're in Hawaii?
No, I'm in San Diego. I was just born in Hawaii.
That's what I said.
All right, where are we at? We're 46,000. $70. That's not so bad. That's pretty good.
And we sold
That's
one
pretty
more.
good. We're just I don't know, like $1,500 away from halfway to the place that we need to be. It's important. Let me see. Where is Diversity in Comics at anyway? Has anybody seen his?
Oh, he's sorry he couldn't make it, but
He's at the gym. He must have
He
been
was
at the gym.
making a Mark Wade video.
yeah. What's his book called? What's his new book called?
Iron Sights.
Iron Sights. Let's see where that's at right now.
it's Ironside. It's about a detective in a wheelchair.
It is not.
Yeah, played by Raymond Burr.
Iron Sights Indiegogo is live.
Ask Mike to show
Yeah,
the
this
Disney
is-
poster.
Wait a second.
I always
Did
buy two comics. I bought 2 copies of Cyberfrog. I bought 2 copies of Iron Sights. I bought 2 copies of Red Rooster. One for me and one for the video where Shreddy may or may not eat it.
Okay, what happens if we stack up Cyberfrog versus Red Rooster?
No, I always
here's the.
Yeah,
What
go
would
ahead.
happen? What are Red Rooster's powers?
No, I mean against Shreddy.
Everybody's powerless against Shreddy. I've shredded Thanos. I've shredded everyone. But here's the thing: I shredded one time. It was unfortunately I had a beautiful copy of who's that cowboy with the scarred up face?
Jonah Hex.
I had Jonah Hex #1. It was a perfect copy, but it went up against, I think, America, and I had to put it in the shredder. And I felt bad about that one, but I judge fairly. I would never put you guys up against each other, but I may throw it. I won't put you up against something good like Iceman or West Coast Avengers. I'll put you up against something not as good as that.
Oh no! I don't want any slack. I want to go up against West Coast Avengers. I will take it. I am taking the challenge. I will accept it. And Cyberfrog.
You don't know what you're saying. You don't know you're talking crazy talk.
Ethan, what should you go up against?
I got like 50 subscribers just from that one shout out.
Oh. Yeah,
awesome.
Ethan works magic.
How come every time I go on these things I lose 50 subscribers?
Because it's the only time people watch you.
Yeah.
Well, look, you are Iron Sights is at $41,623. You have surpassed him. It took him 6 days to get there. You are at $46,070. It took you
nice
12 hours to get there.
13 hours, something like that. 14, 15 hours.
You should have done a video showing a railing and a field and then telling everybody that maybe you shouldn't buy this one.
And gone on for like 25 or 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's great.
I'll do it next time for sure.
It's talking about Cyberfrog versus Red Rooster. I mean, that is something that can be done. It would just have to be done in modern times. In other words, Frank Cooper's great-great-grandson,
right?
Discovers who his grandfather was, and decides to take on the mantle in the year 2018. And that would actually be kind of fun.
He would be Batman then. At that point, with the technology, he would be.
But he wouldn't have money. I mean, he wouldn't have those resources.
Why not?
I don't know if he has. Yeah, I don't know.
With all his endorsement money he's making, you told me he was endorsing for Kapow soda. It couldn't have gone wrong.
It goes spectacularly wrong. Or else it wouldn't be a story.
Random person, $5. You should add everyone's Twitter or YouTube link to the area below where you linked Red Rooster.
Oh, fuck that.
Ethan
doesn't do that.
It's hard. It's a lot of work.
He never does it. It will take 30 seconds. He won't do it.
Seriously.
I'll do it. I'll do it right now.
Let me say, the last Comicsgate one where you had all of us on, you had 20,000 views, and it just said interview with Cecil and a picture of Mike Miller was up. That was all that it said. It didn't make any sense. Half the people thought Mike was me. They're like, "Oh, you did a face reveal?"
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
You're not that sorry.
I'm not that sorry, but I'm sorry. You know, I care about you guys. I want you to do well. Part of
I
what
want
I
you to
do.
know I did get 15 subscribers from that 5-hour stream.
I just
I
went
feel
in
bad
and
about
posted
that.
my link in the comments.
20.
Well, let me.
A 5-hour stream with 20,000 viewers, and I got 15 subscribers from it because he refuses to put a link to anybody.
Oh, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to. That's
You're
really
a
inconsiderate
monster.
of me. No, I mean it. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm doing what I can do now. Okay.
It's
I
too late.
apologize. Too late? All right, then I won't do it. I mean,
No,
Just
just
knew this.
I mean, I like feudal gestures. It's nice.
He's
hey,
doing it
Mitch,
now, Cecil. Show him some love.
Everybody, don't call me Cecil. Everybody thinks I'm you because it just said live stream with Cecil and it has your face. And I had the top comment, so I put in everybody's name. I put in like I can't think of anything. I put in like that umbrella guy and weaponized nerd. I put everybody's names at the top of the chat because Ethan's a busy guy. He can't promote.
well, no, I can. Oh, wait a second. Oh, shit.
You don't have to apologize for anything.
Cecil Miller.
I do.
No, it's our fault if anything for trusting you.
Oh, this is all devastating. I honestly didn't mean to cause this kind of pain.
I still
I'm trying to
love you,
fix
Ethan.
it. Thank you. I
Occasionally,
appreciate
you have to peek out of your own world and see that there are other people.
I do. When I'm doing stuff like this, like I think this is me being pretty good. I don't want to be selfish, you know. I want to actually take care of my friends. I really, really do.
No, just take a look at that last chat where we
No,
were
I remember you mentioning that you didn't think you could do that on like another thing we were on, and I didn't bother correcting you. So
Yeah.
Well,
When he said he didn't know if he could, he said he didn't. He really meant I don't want to.
Cecil, that's not true at all. I'm not like that. I do want to. I can do it. I'm doing it right now.
Are you?
Yes.
Sometimes I wonder.
No, I'm sorry.
You go to the
sorry.
YouTube stream. You go to the YouTube stream, not the Hangout stream, and then in there you could just edit.
just make sure Cecil's link goes to porn.
Just put my name at top.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on here.
I'm not even selling
I
anything. I honestly don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm just in this for the glory. I'm not selling anything.
Well, will you sell something eventually? I mean,
You should.
Not really. No.
You should have
A t-shirt?
you should have a section on crypto fashion.
For what? Maybe I'll take something. I have so much good fan art. They really are pouring awesome art into my Twitter. There's one that last one where I was from the Hulk cover of the original Hulk that Robert Harkin did. That was fucking awesome. And he actually made the mask with the skin mask I had. It was really good.
What the hell is that mask?
It's an old man mask, but I can't find it. I think my nieces threw it in the garbage because I was running after them in the house and scaring them. And when I took it off, it disappeared. I think they threw it in the garbage. I have to buy a new one.
Okay, I got you guys. Save this in a second, please.
Cool. We'll
Image
get that
question for you.
2:22. We'll get that 2:22 a.m. crowd. Thanks.
Well,
Yeah.
Cecil, what you fail to realize is that videos stay up for a long time, and then people go and look at them later. You know what I mean? It's not like this crowd right now. This video is going to get 30,000 views.
Yeah, people are going to listen to this on their drive to work in the morning.
Yeah.
What a disappointment.
Ethan, all right, we'll throw you a parade. Jesus Christ.
All right, Mike has a question.
I have a question. And this applies to Ethan too as well. Can you recall your biggest like nerd out fanboy moment of someone in the industry that you met?
Probably running into Stan Lee in the elevator with Elizabeth. That was pretty crazy. Yeah, he was with his body man, bodyguard. Yeah, he was really nice. I mean, I'd been working for Marvel for about 3 years at the time, and so it was just like, oh wow! It was just boom, Stan Lee in the elevator, me and Elizabeth, and that was it. And it was
nice. How long ago was that?
That was probably 8 years ago, 7 years ago.
Nice.
I guess it was Brian Boland for me. He was in he didn't do very much, for a long time. He didn't do much traveling, and he came to New York City Comic Con, and they knew how much I loved him, and they put me next to him, and he looked at the black and white photocopies of Sinestro Corps War #1 before it came out, and it was so complimentary, and that was. I asked him to sign my rapidograph, which he did.
Wow.
That was nerdy, but that's it.
I actually, if we could ever find it somewhere in the files, I have a picture of my wife dressed as Voodoo, I think, sitting in Stan Lee's lap from like 1990.
You're gonna have you have to dig it out now. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are mean. Look at this. Somebody goes, when he met Max Visaggio at a rest stop. I had to read that because that was funny. Yeah.
I met Stan Lee because my sister-in-law, I have a brother who was she worked for one of the talk shows in Manhattan, and she called me up. I was working downtown, and she called me. She's like, "Get over here right now. Stan Lee's doing an interview." And I came up, and I actually got to meet him, and he gave me a signed autograph, and he gave me my own name of Courageous Cecil, and and it was kind of cool. That was about 10 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, my biggest geek out moment though of all, like one that actually took my breath away, and I was like, was when I met Brian Wilson. That was absolutely terrific. We'd just seen him in concert up in North Jersey, and Andrew and I had parked our car very strategically in the hotel parking lot. We had a valet park. So we were sitting there. We left early. We left the concert right when the last song was going off, so we could leave. We're waiting kind of in the rain for the valet to bring us our car in front of the hotel, and up pulls this great big black SUV, and two big guys hustle Brian Wilson out of the side. And I didn't notice him. Andrew was like, "Hey, honey. And, inside, that was Brian Wilson. Get your phone." And I was like, "Should I go?" She's like, "Go chase him." I was like, "Okay." So I went into the hotel, and I chased after him. I had my phone out. I didn't stumble with it. I got the camera up, and I said, "Mr. Wilson, my name's Ethan. When I'm sad, your music makes me feel happy." And he said, he looked at me, he said, "Thank you." And I said, "Can I take your picture?" And he said, "Sure." And gave me a wonderful picture, absolutely wonderful photograph that I treasure. My face is beaming. I've never looked so happy. And they hustled him up into an elevator, and I marched out like, "I got it." Heart pounding. That was the biggest geek out moment for me ever.
Nice.
Absolutely thrilled.
I'll give you that because I love Brian Wilson. I love Pet Sounds. Is one of my favorite albums, top 5 albums of all time.
Oh, I've seen him every time he comes. I see him.
V is in the chat.
Where's V?
I keep seeing people saying, "Hey V."
No, they're just saying "Kick V." They always say that.
No.
They said, "Hey is in there." Hey V, do you want to come in? I'll send you a link.
Talk about some furry porn there.
Yeah, that's not a problem. V is a famous YouTuber. He's a YouTuber.
Okay.
Big time.
Gotcha. All righty.
And good guy. I don't know if he wants to come in or not, but it's, he lives in, where does he live?
Romania.
Godforsaken Romania, yeah.
Some
It is.
All right, hang on a second. I got to get the Hangouts.
Yeah, I think my biggest nerd out. I was talking about it today because somebody was on the Paul Smith Appreciation Day posted this. The X-Men cover where Cyclops is carrying Professor X.
Mhm.
Right? And I was like, I got to hold that in my hands.
Yes,
when I
you put that
visited-
on Twitter today. Yeah.
Yeah. When I visited Paul at his house in Thousand Oaks, like 20-something years ago. Because we had gotten to be friends at conventions because we were both doing the Wildstorm convention circuit because my wife was voodoo. And so we would be traveling around.
That
so
was
we hung out. We got to hang out.
X-Men 167.
Yeah. So that
I
was
have that copy. I'm going to put it up against the new West Coast Avengers, so it's probably going to get destroyed.
Oh God.
Hey V, where you at? Come on in. I just sent you the link over to Twitter. Over to your Twitter DMs. Yeah, I like V. And V is V Gamergate? What do you think?
He's a very, very interesting person.
You do a good impersonation of him. Oh, it's funny.
I want to have to subscribe. Is it just V? Or V?
Yeah. V-Ro. V-E-E-R-O-H.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see him. I mean, he's right winger. But he won't. He'll say, "I'm not a right winger. I'm a liberal."
I'm a liberal. I don't know why you say that.
They all say that. They all say they are liberals, but they're not. They're liberalists. They call themselves liberalists. It's very interesting.
Somebody in the chat said V is for vagina.
Well, he probably is for vagina. Most of us. I just said virgina. That's very Jersey of me.
Vagina? That's like that's the fur.
Yeah.
V is
Somebody asked if I still have my.
I'm gonna. If you're ever on Long
Sargon
Island, I'm gonna
of
invite you over, Ethan. But I can't have you embarrassing me with that kind of talk.
Dude, let's get Sargon of Akkad in here. That'd be great.
Oh yeah, agreed. Add that Star Wars girl in the group too. Who's that Star Wars girl? Is she in here now?
Isn't that the girl that's with Jessie? She's like a cute chick that goes with her.
Yeah, I like her. If she's in here, she can come in. Uncle Ethan, what have you on camera and represent the Viking contingent? Oh, you want me to be on camera? I've been on camera already today. I just don't feel like I look good lately. I work so hard. I really just want to be on camera.
In Ethan's defense, he's right. I saw him earlier. He doesn't look.
And he's not Norwegian.
Hey V, how you doing, buddy?
Hello, gentlemen. How's it going?
It's going good.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Just woke up, saw so many cool people together. I thought I would say hi in the chat.
Welcome to America.
Yeah, V, I don't know if you know what we're up to, but we're changing the comic book industry through Indiegogo, through crowdfunding. Are you aware of all this?
Yes, and it's amazing.
Well, we've just launched. I want you to meet Mitch Brightweiser there. Mitch, this is V, famous YouTuber, big name.
I just subscribed.
Hi, Mitch. How's it going?
Very well. Looking forward to getting to know you.
Hopefully you like my videos.
Yeah, I'll be checking them out tomorrow.
Mitch is launching his Indiegogo for Red Rooster Golden Age. It's a new superhero book that takes place during the Great Depression in the United States. We've been working at this crowdfunding all day since 11 a.m. We are now at $46,225.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I'll promote it if I like it.
All right, great. Yeah.
You should definitely promote it.
I think I spoke with Cecil.
Promote it regardless.
V, are you in Romania?
Yeah.
V, I want you to meet Cecil. Cecil is our kind of Jerry Lewis character who follows us around, and he basically Cecil has a storied past. Nobody's quite sure. We know he's a former criminal of some sort. We're not quite sure exactly the nature or extent of his crimes, just that they are crimes, and he has escaped punishment up till now. But he is on all of the streams, and he is well known and well loved as Cecil. So you can see he's wearing a mask. He doesn't want people to see him, see his identity.
Well, I'll make him an honorary Eastern European then.
That a lot of Eastern Europeans are just like me.
In what way?
Criminal and don't want to show their face.
Yeah, I was just waiting for the mask, but
I'm good friends with some Romanians in New York, actually.
Hey, V.
Hey guys, look, before we get into V, Kyle just sent me another update on the colors of the Comic Skate Alliance piece. If you guys want me to share it.
Yeah, let's see it.
All right, let me do the share.
This is what Kyle's doing instead of coloring Cyberfrog.
Tell him to get back to work.
Tell me when you can see it. Can you see it? Well, it's half flatted.
No, we
half
can't
colored.
see it. We can't see it.
Oh, you can't?
You're getting there.
Quick, Ethan,
got it
get
now?
to the keyboard.
It's up.
You got it now? Is it? All right, cool. So yeah, he's still got all the metal to do on Cyberfrog and Cell and Android, and a lot of stuff still flatted. But yeah, I think it's looking pretty sweet.
Yes.
Dang it.
Kyle's colors look great on your work, dude.
Yeah.
You can't have him though. You can have him. You can have him. He needs work. He needs to keep busy.
When is the first issue of Cyberfrog coming out?
Cyberfrog is. Have you been watching the campaign, V? Are you aware of it?
I've watched it tangentially. Like I couldn't invest as much time as I would wanted to.
That means no.
Well, okay,
No, I didn't watch a bit.
He didn't see it. Okay, well, listen. It got through its first month. We raised $427,921, nearly $500,000. V. The comics don't do this. You understand? I mean, we are shaking. We are doing where you guys of Gamergate failed. We at Comicsgate are succeeding. What do you think of that?
I think that's amazing. I mean, I don't consider your camp our camp. You know, I consider everyone that enjoys this type of entertainment to be in the same camp.
No. I'm saying we are the same camp. I'm just saying we are both going through the same exact thing right now. I mean, Gamergate, we've had the benefit of learning from Gamergate. We're finding our mundane mats early and showing them the door. And, and basically just rocking and rolling. They don't like this.
Well, check your Twitter. I sent you something that you will find very interesting. I think the people here will also enjoy reading it.
It's going to be porn.
No.
Porn, babe.
It's intellectual porn.
No furry porn, baby.
Just Pele here. This is spot on. Well, okay, so yeah, this is you're sending me the this is the Geekergate 20 steps to Geekergate. Yeah. This guy, I know him. Ichibaka is something else, and he wrote this thing where he just broke down exactly how an SJW swarm and convergence actually works, just in 20 steps. And the amazing thing is, it's so right on, isn't it, V?
Yeah, I made a video about it. I completed a little bit because I thought like something could be added to make it more accurate. But it is extremely spot on. Like it applies perfectly to Star Wars, female Ghostbusters, and the comic book industry.
Yeah, and the game industry. Yeah. Do you want me to read it, or is that boring? And we comment on it? No, it's too boring. Other people should find it and check it out.
I share the screen if you want, so people could at least see it.
You want to go through it?
It's up to you. Right. Just
happy to have a little bit of the broadcast on my live stream. Very happy.
All right. Hold on. Just okay. So the first part is the criticism that the social justice will give to a comic book. It's usually like the cover is too sexist, or they didn't like how the female character is being treated, or anything like that. And all of the problem starts when the IP, let's say Marvel or whoever is in charge. They say they are going to make a reboot, and they also say that they're going to be more politically correct, like they're going to be less sexist, they're going to be pro-LGBT, right? And all of this is actually a dog whistle. It's like when you're surrounded by sharks in the water and you start to bleed. That's what happens, right? Because you're going to attract all the type of people from Tumblr people from the academia, the social justice warriors, right? That they're going to entrench themselves into every single fandom that your IP has. So our comics, every forum, every type of medium that the fan base communicates with the original IP, they're going to be there. And what happens is that eventually you're going to get fan criticism because the reboot is going to go quite different from the original piece, and fans are going to be upset. And when this happens, you're going to have the social justice response to the fan criticism, who is going to accuse the fans of being racist, sexist, misogynist, homophobic. And usually the social justice are in charge of the forums for the fans, like on our Reddit and stuff like that. So they're going to start to ban and kick everyone that's complaining about the new direction of the comic books or video games or whatever that medium is. And then they will also have fan media. Like, it's not the mainstream media, but it's usually like the Mary Sue, articles that write about comic books. They are going to declare that the backlash doesn't exist. This is the first step. They will also say something like, oh, it's a private company. It can do anything they want. So they never inject this criticism between step 1 and step 2. What do you guys think? Like, do you find it accurate or
Perfect.
Is it just for gaming? Right?
It's perfect.
All right.
It's what we've seen.
I was tweeting. Can you say all that again?
Just kidding, Vic.
Okay. They start ignoring the backlash, right? But what eventually happened is the Streisand effect. The backlash begins to intensify. Like, people, as they're getting kicked, as they're getting pushed away from speaking, they'll create their own channels, like Ethan did, like Diversity in Comics. People will just go somewhere else and be able to create their own platform. And this is when you get the hate hoaxes and flags, and you're get social justice warriors. They're going to create things like the milkshake gate. They things which are very fishy. They're very. So sometimes they're even discredited, but they're using this in order to start whataboutery. Like, you're going to criticize the IP, and they're going, but what about milkshake gate, right? The thing which is the most interesting is the damsel in distress. It happens time and time again, right? A female member of the production, could also be a gay man, is granted victim status over a fishy event in order to deflect from failure of the IP and shame critics into silence. And what happens is that the mainstream media then jumps in and uses the damsel in distress in order to basically characterize the entire fan base as being racist, toxic, all the buzzwords that you usually hear. Right.
Can I ask you one question, V?
Yeah.
I saw that, V.
It's fine. But right, every single step I think is actually accurate. It happens so many times that it has become a pattern. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a PR person or someone like that actually makes sure that all the steps are being taken into account. Do you guys think that? Like, do you think it might be?
I think so.
Yeah,
I've thought that for some time, that there's some that they hire a firm, probably out like some Madison Avenue firm or two that specialize in crisis management. So what we have to do is have crisis managers of our own, or at least be able to anticipate these tactics and run interference in them. But I think actually we need some heavyweight crisis managers to help us out.
I think you noticed a hole in the market. You could start a business there.
That's right. That's what we're doing.
That actually is what we're doing.
Need some bulldogs.
What's the response from the comic book stores? Because you're bypassing them, as I understand.
They hate. Some of them are totally converged SJW things, but they're going to go out of business. And look, some of the comic book stores write me, and they want to sell to everybody, right?
Right.
But they know that they know who has money, and those customers are walking away. They're for
I've heard only positive things so far. from people, mostly Diamond Distribution has reached out to me and said, "How can we help you?" But other than that, yeah, I care about the comic book stores. I feel like they are the ones who are going to pay the most for what's going on with these SJWs and all of these tactics. They are the ultimate victims. Some of them actually deserve it. That comic shop, Magic Mirror Comics, fucking deserve to go out of business. And I don't say that very easily. But to throw a boy out of your store like Dylan, that little kid, throw him out of your store because you saw him commenting on one of Diversity in Comics' tweets is
hold on. I'm not informed. What happened?
You know who Dylan is? Real comic book gamer. He's a YouTuber.
I'm not familiar. I know who Diversity in Comics is.
Oh, well, good. Okay, so Dylan is about 20, 21 years old. He's got a pretty successful YouTube channel of about 70 or 80,000 subscribers. He plays video games all day and talks about comic books. He's a kid, but he's great. And he's also kind of right-leaning, as it turns out. He saw on Twitter that Diversity in Comics was mentioned one particular store that was actually part of this campaign to coerce other stores into not buying or carrying Jawbreakers, the Diversity in Comics crowdfunded comic. And Diversity in Comics pointed them all out. He listed the stores, he listed their phone numbers. He said, "You let these people know." Now, this poor kid Dylan, he's like, "That's my store." He's like, "That's my store, and that's wrong what they're doing. I wanted to buy Jawbreakers." Well, he posted that on a Diversity in Comics thread. Next week, he goes into the store to pick up his box of comics, his weekly order of comics. The woman, the big fat blue-haired land whale behind the counter, says, I'm refusing your business. And he said, "You're what?" She's like, "We know who you are. We don't have to serve you. Get out." And he said, "I'm just trying to," but he just wasn't causing trouble. He just, "Could I have my comics?" "No, we're not gonna serve you. Get out." He said, "Could I take out my camera and film this?" And he got about 10 seconds of footage of this big fat woman saying, he's like, "I guess you don't like money then. I guess my money isn't green." And she's like, "Sir, we are not serving you. Blah blah blah. Please leave." And
it's the social justice mentality. It's like they're doing you a favor for selling your comic books. Do you notice that?
It's a purity test.
It's like,
It's a purity test, V. It's like, we don't have to serve you. We want to make your life as uncomfortable as possible until you come around, until you get your mind right. And we don't want your type in here. You do not fit our clientele.
People, in their defense, you don't know if Dylan was acting aggressive.
Yeah, Dylan might have had a gun. But listen, no. The punchline of the story is that they went out of business a week later.
Yeah, that's awesome. But by the way, I'm making this video on this lady. I think you probably are familiar with her, Maxine Waters, and she encourages that type of behavior. Right? She encourages businesses to refuse customers that aren't politically aligned.
She's the worst person in America.
Yeah. So what this blue-haired feminist was doing in the comic book store goes in line with the suggestions that seem to be accurate for a lot of people on the left leaning. Like, if you're not politically aligned with us, then we're not going to do business with you.
Yeah.
That's how.
Well, I mean, that's a good way to go out of business.
Green. Money is not red or blue. Money is green. If you're in business, you're there for green, not red or blue. If you want to be red or blue, then get into politics or be a pundit or something.
Yeah, but, that's how things work in Europe.
Ridiculous. Yeah, so whatever. Socialized medicine.
Yeah, I just feel like this basically opens up a big area for guys like me and guys like Mitch, guys like Mike, not Cecil, but guys like us, because basically we can kind of, just acknowledge the fact that these people are squabbling over 50% of the audience and leaving the other 50% of the audience unserved. Yep. And I mean, at this point, I don't understand why more people who are right-leaning don't just come out of the closet, come our way, and start crowdfunding comics specifically aimed at normies.
And mathematically,
there's a lot of money in it.
Because that other 50% has like 500 comics to choose from, and this
but I don't think it's
has
50%.
like
I don't think the percentage is accurate because it's not the people on the left that are being, with them. They only cater to the far left.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even people in the left, like myself, like I don't find myself represented in their business strategies. I don't find myself enjoying the products they're putting out. So they're alienating
because
people
you're a
in the left.
conservative V.
Yeah.
They're catering to the brokest 10% of the population.
That's me.
That is true. Yeah, these people don't buy comics. They were not comic book fans before. They only express interest in comic books and superheroes. Ironically, they are not customers. What they're here to do is cause trouble.
But Twitter is free.
And that's where they get their kicks from Twitter.
Yeah, the reason they chose comic books is because they view it as a venue to push their ideology, right? It's a thing that they saw a lot of people reading, a lot of people were interested in it, and the moment comic books fail and you won't have a lot of people reading them, they will move away because they don't care about comics. Mm-hmm. They only want to push their ideology, and they're not interested in a medium that only caters to a couple thousand people.
That's why we have to keep them out. That's why we keep them out of this. That's why we need to kick their asses out of comics, if possible, mainstream comics. But in the meantime,
but not everybody. There are some good people in comics still.
I'm not talking about people in comics. I'm talking about SJWs. Oh. There are no good SJWs. It's a contradiction of terms. If you're an SJW, you're a piece of shit. Seriously, SJW equals piece of shit. There's no such thing as a good SJW. You can be a good left-winger, a good liberal, but if you're a social justice warrior, you're a piece of human shit, and you deserve to be trebucheted off the fucking planet.
Well, it does imply you're trying to get people fired.
To the moon.
Trebuchet me to a brick wall. I mean, that's kind of.
But you're painting with a broad brush. If
no,
in
I'm
that
not.
definition, even Mark Wade would be included in what you're saying.
Well, hold on, Cecil. Tell me a person.
He's first to go.
Tell me a person that wants to get someone else fired because they disagree politically and is a good person. Like, name me a guy who says, you know what, this person disagrees with me on politics. I want to call his boss and get him fired. Now make a case that he is a good person.
No, he's an SJW.
Yeah.
Well, you're putting me on the spot, but you don't know.
Yeah.
What if he has bad breath?
SJWs are bad people. They're bad people, and they spend their entire day trying to bump up their self-esteem by making other people feel bad and ruining lives. They campaign to ruin lives. They campaign to harass people, make them nervous, make them afraid, all over politics. And it's going to get worse because Trump is going to kick ass this November. I mean, there's no way. There's no blue wave coming, everyone. Those people who you see campaigning right now on Twitter for a blue wave, excited, talking about knocking on their neighbors' doors, those are going to be the psychos on November, the 9th is it?
Oh, the GOP are already using them in order to make a political advert. It's like, this is how bad these guys are. It doesn't matter our platform, doesn't matter what we want, we're not them. That's kind of
right, exactly.
These people are this broken the first time Trump won, and they haven't been able to let it go. When Trump takes 45, 46, 48 states, they're gonna freaking lose it. I mean, they're gonna mental.
I don't know why they're even trying, guys. It's ridiculous. They have 16 seats open in the Senate. 16 seats up for contest. 9 of them were in states that Trump won by a large margin. We've only got 6 seats up for contest, and it's they're all pretty good, pretty solid red state seats. We have never been this powerful in 100 years, and we're acting like this. Why are we acting like this? Why are we afraid of these people? These people are on their last legs. These people are pushovers at this point. Paper tigers. They know this. I mean, some of them know this, that this campaign or this election, this coming election is going to be a wipeout for the Democrat Party. And then Ruth Bader Ginsburg, swing low, sweet chariot, and then forget it. I mean, it's game over.
Here's a hypothesis.
The next generation is ours.
Here's the hypothesis. Because they've been so bad to people, they know that if they ever lose the power, people will be bad to them in return. Maybe this is why they're afraid.
What about
that's a good
Cortez in
It
New
should
York?
be.
She seems good.
You know, if they ever returned to power, it would be chaos. It would be torment. It would be impossible. I mean, they're so angry right now. They can't ever be allowed to return to power.
And they're legitimately fashion.
You know, do you not see as a problem the fact that they're in big corporations?
That is a big problem.
Did you not see? Not see. I heard it.
Yeah.
I heard it too. I heard it too.
It's all dog whistles. I hear them.
Yeah, your career is over. Your career is over.
Did you not see? Yeah, I saw. I saw.
This is just the way things are. And my son's generation, I mean, this is the wonderful thing about this, is that even though our generation is thoroughly cucked SJW, my son's generation, the YouTube generation, they don't watch fucking TV. They watch YouTube. They watch V. Right. They watch Wrecked Feminist. They watch all of these great channels. They can't stand SJWs. They can't stand them.
My son loves Crowder.
You combine the Trump generation with my son's generation that's coming up and taking power and they're going to be able to vote. They're going to be able to vote in 2020. I mean, it's over. Like liberalism is going to have to change. It's going to have to become Kennedy liberalism again.
They're the most
informed
generation ever because of YouTube and the conversations they're able to have. I mean, they know so much more, and they've seen what we've all gone through, right? And they're like, I want none of that. None of that.
The thing that worries me is that a lot of people are afraid of the government with good reason, right? It's good to be skeptical of your government, but now we have corporations that have more money than smaller governments, and they're infested with social justice activists. Like people openly declaring themselves to be Antifa supporters. I made a video the other day about the guy who makes the Spider-Man animated movie, and he openly declared himself to support Antifa. And you might say, well, maybe he doesn't know how bad these people are. And then when he was presented with the fact that members of Antifa are using bike locks to crack American skull open, he's like, oh, well, you know, who cares? It's not a big deal. But what about the right? What about the far right?
But listen, V, that's the first guy that would defend somebody with a ridiculous accent like yours. Think about it.
I think they'd be alarmed by meeting V. They're like, don't you understand? Oh, you're an immigrant, right? You're an immigrant. You're here illegally. We'll protect you. V would be like, yeah, I'm a liberalist.
Yeah,
He's
like,
I'm in the Romania. Leave me alone.
I'll say I can climb the Statue of Liberty myself. Get some of that giantess fetish. Like it's fine. I don't need your protection.
Yeah,
ooh, Linda H just said better than a New York lisp. Whoa! She owns Cecil.
How dare you?
Linda H. Good job.
Nothing is better than a New York lisp.
Is New York the place where you hear gunshots every night?
No, that's Chicago.
No, Chicago. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there's a funny point of fact. So when Batman and like DC Comics was Batman and Superman were created, Gotham was New York because New York was a freaking nightmare, and Chicago was Metropolis because Chicago was all nice and new and clean. And like in the span of 1-2 generations since those were created, it's like Giuliani. They totally flipped the switch. Now freaking Chicago is Gotham.
I grew up in Manhattan during the early parts of Giuliani. It was a different city. It's completely different.
Yeah, well, just watch The Warriors. You'll know what it's like a documentary.
I'm sorry, Ethan, but if this doesn't show that Batman is awesome at his job and Superman sucks, I don't know what
is. So true.
That's a good takeaway.
That's so true. But we don't care. We care about Red Rooster, Golden Age. That is the thing right now. We're going to invent.
Give us the number.
Oh, the number is
what's that?
$46,285. It's kind of stuck.
Awesome.
It is like 3 in the morning in most places.
Yeah.
It's 3 a.m. I'm trying to advertise it on my channel. Maybe get it a little bit.
46,285.
You guys specialize in stealing credit card numbers.
Sleep over here. He's on the other side of the world, so he can be advertising while we're all asleep.
Oh,
we've got this 24-hour cycle of just constant promotion.
That's what I was saying. V, the #1 source of income in Romania is stolen credit card numbers from America. You could pump his numbers up right now.
Okay, hold on. V, tell him how much you used to make as a doctor.
It was around $200
a month.
Doctor.
Yeah.
As a doctor in Romania.
How
Well,
old
you
do
know,
you
like a
think?
freshly graduate med student that just goes into the hospital, you know, for his first day of work.
How old are you?
The 32.
Oh, so you're post-communism. You're 200. That's it.
Yeah.
You know,
But,
people
They
here make
increased
that
the wage
working
a
at
little bit. I
McDonald's.
understand. Like ever since I became a YouTuber, they increased the wage. So there's that.
It's 210 now.
So yeah, something like that.
You know, that's about what a part-time worker at McDonald's makes, right?
That is sad to hear. That is sad. But you probably have higher rent, I guess. You pay more taxes, maybe.
I pay nothing in rent.
Pay nothing in rent.
He lives in his stepmother's basement.
I live in personal. I have like I have a little bit of a socialistic experiment going on in a capitalistic country. I am living off of other people. It's really worked out. It's really working out fantastic. I'm able to even buy. I even buy artisanal comic books.
Artisanal comics are the best. They're the best.
And I drink IPAs and vodka. I'm doing all right. I get by on my charm.
But by the way, Ethan, I thought about why you guys succeed and Gamergate failed. It's because to make a comic, it's usually the work of one, maybe 2 or 3 people. But to make a video game, it's an entire company that needs to do it. And people in video games just can't afford to.
My friend Brad Bourne does Fancy Pants Adventures all by himself.
I'm not familiar with the game.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's a really popular 2D scroller. It's a little stick figure dude with a pencil for a sword.
I'll have to
really
look it up.
Yeah, check it out.
I'm kidding when I say the Gamergate failed. I think you guys succeeded. I think you guys succeeded where Star Wars is going to fail. Well, we'll see about Star Wars. I'm on Star Wars. I'm fucking on Star Wars.
How would you save Star Wars?
Ethan is Star Wars Gate.
I like watching your videos about Star Wars. How would you save it, right? You're the director of Star Wars Episode 9. You get like free.
Episode 9 is over. It's over. Forget it. Toss it away. It's going to be a failure. Kathleen Kennedy, who's running Lucasfilm, great big SJW pig, she is hiring more SJWs. Because of her influence, Lucasfilm is utterly split. It's utterly divided between Kennedy loyalists and then like regular people there who see what she's doing is stupid. She's presided over the very first Star Wars bomb, losing $80 million at the box office. That is unprecedented. That's never happened. It should never happen. Her job is over. She's going to be out of here in September. If I were the president of Lucasfilm, I'd go ahead. I'd make J.J. Abrams eat Episode 9. This is you. This is right around your neck. I'm hanging that shit around your neck. I have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, but let's say Disney hires you and goes like, you know what, you have to do Episode 9. You have to do it. Right?
No, well, I'm saying, okay, I'm approving everything that you say, JJ. This is your movie. I'm moving on to my movies, and I'm going to do a whole trilogy of films that take place in between Episodes 3 and 4. Obi-Wan Kenobi delivers Luke Skywalker to Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen, and he watches over them. We've got a whole thing with Ewan McGregor, who is a legitimate Obi-Wan Kenobi. He'd still be willing to play the role. There's a big story to be told there about the gangsterism of Jabba the Hutt on Tatooine, about Uncle Owen maybe having a gambling debt to Jabba the Hutt, which is why he keeps Luke Skywalker working year after year after year, right? I want to go be a pilot. You can't be a pilot. You can't be a pilot. You got to stay one more season, son. Then it's all about bounty hunters getting closer and closer to where Luke Skywalker is to inform the Empire about his location. I would do a trilogy of movies with all familiar characters and win back the fans' loyalty, win back their love.
Very old characters. Aren't the actors kind of old now?
No, because none of them are. You wouldn't be using. You'd be using Ewan McGregor for Obi-Wan Kenobi. You'd have it cast a new kid, a teenager, 13-year-old as Luke Skywalker. Recast Uncle Owen and Beru. Boba Fett. All of these other characters are completely covered up. The Tusken Raiders, the Jawas. I'm telling you, it's dynamite. It's a built-in. It would actually work. I would recast. I would. What?
What about the classic characters that the fans now expect to see, like Rey, Finn, and Admiral
They'll be
Holdo?
dead. They'll be dead with Episode 9. All of them. Admiral Holdo's already dead. They're all dead.
What about
They're
Tico?
all dead. Rey's dead.
People want to see.
Tico.
They want to know what happened to these characters. Listen, you're living in the past. You're living in nostalgia. People want to know Rey. They want to know Finn. They want to know Poe.
Okay. I can make Episode 9, and people will know Rey, Poe, and Finn.
No.
So listen to this. This is my storyline, right? You have the Yuzan Vong that are coming from a different galaxy.
Somebody in the chat said stab Cecil, and I don't like that.
Don't stab Cecil.
Stab Cecil.
Hey, nobody wants to know Finn. This is legitimately true. I went into Toys R Us like towards the end of their, we're going out of business, where they had 95% of the store cleared out, and they had all the rest of the stuff that was still there in the front row. The only Star Wars toy they still had, they had like 20 Finn action figures. They couldn't even get rid of them at 70%.
Did you get any?
No, I thought about getting them for Ethan, but
Yeah.
So how's about this story for Episode 9, right? You find out that the Emperor built the Death Star not to fight the Rebels, but to fight something else from a different galaxy. Because the Rebels were a moving force, they could jump from planet to planet. Just destroying a planet wouldn't just make sense, right? So you have this threat from a different galaxy, which are the Vong, which is actually canon, and the Yuzan Vong, they're canon in the expanded galaxy. And they're a race that basically turns a planet into a biological entity that just produces ships for them. So they're that's where the Death Star comes in. And now you have, the old order trying to get all the Jedis and trying to make peace with them in order to ally against this other threat. And you also find out that Rey's parents are Palpatine. He used the Force to create her.
Like that, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
do you think that would work? You think would kind of save?
An outside force that makes the dark side and the light side have to combine to fight the outside force.
Yeah,
that would
exactly.
be kind of cool.
And it would be like the differences in philosophy between them. Also, the Vong are immune to Force powers, so the Jedis aren't that OP. I think that would be a way to save the trilogy.
Well, ask Ethan. Ethan has one of the foremost Star Trek channels on YouTube.
what is Captain Kirk going to do in the next episode?
I don't. Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino is directing the next Star Trek movie.
Star Trek movies were actually good. I like them.
Yeah. Have you seen William Shatner getting into all of these fights on Twitter? Do you follow him?
No.
It is hilarious, man. He's like Ethan. He's like Ethan of Star Trek. He's like.
Oh, he's a good guy. I'm used to Hollywood being this progressive bubble that's completely detached from the real world.
I love that about Hollywood.
The magic of Me Tooism seems to have struck to a point where no one wants to talk out. Like the most progressive place in the United States, which is Hollywood, turns out to have so many actors and so many producers just ended up molesting women. Isn't that an interesting thing?
Yeah.
Like, no wonder all Hollywood actresses are feminists. They're surrounded by these men with serious issues. If what's being said on the hashtag #MeToo is to be believed.
Allegedly.
Yeah, right.
Allegedly.
I have to read some super chats. I got some complaints. People are like, you're not reading them. I am going to read them.
All
I
right,
have
pay
them
some
all
bills.
here.
Pay some bills.
Paying some bills.
Everybody shut up, even me.
Okay, random person, thanks for $5. You should add everyone's Twitter or YouTube link in the area below where you link Red Rooster. Easier to find then. Congrats on 45K already. Got a copy. Eric New One, thanks for $3. William Palacio, thanks for $2. Dickin Comics left a stain on the pages. That's disgusting. SK Zion 2, thanks for $5. The compliment to you, Ethan, is that Jenkins had such a good heart, or a great heart, that she was loved despite her voice. That was the dude that was making fun of my singing voice. Well hung and dung, thanks for £2. Is the shipping price for Red Rooster global?
It's $10 domestic. We made it $12 international.
Wait, is Well
probably
Hung
good.
and Dung an international guy? Because I've always read his name and I pictured him from Missouri.
He is, he's from England. He's £2 here, so he's from the UK. Drunken Atheist Studio, $2. What's a church-going guy like you doing up right now? Yeah, well, it's not.
I think
really...
that was for me. That was for me.
Oh,
I'm trying to help out Mitch.
yeah. Eric Newland, thanks for $5. Kanye, can't do it. Very sorry. I think Red Rooster will do incredibly well. Love you guys. Trust in Ryan. Really good chef. Thanks for $2. Can't wait to get my Ted Rooster. F. Cecil. Really good chef. Thanks for $2. Aloha Mike and the Vogue in Kona sucks. Edwin Boyette, $4.99. Downloading Fabio lyrics now. Gojirify, thanks for $2. Cecilia needs to sing again. Eric Newland, $5. He's not happy. Not an awesome way to treat your fans. Can you at least call me a fat middle-aged white male? We don't do that. Matt Hayes, 2000. Thanks for $5. Mitch, are you ready for possible SJW attacks, i.e., fake CF accounts, Twitter drama? What do you think?
Yes, because we're going to make some money.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
even if you get these attacks, you'll just monetize them, won't you?
Yes, exactly.
We'll take it.
We know the role now.
Feed the beast. Feed the beast.
The more attention you get, I mean, you can turn that around on them right away. And you say that, and they immediately shut up, because that's the one thing that they don't want you to do. They don't want you to make money. They get very upset. They go, "Oh, he's making money. Oh my God!" So if you actually tell them, "Hey, every time you guys talk about me, I go, these guys are talking about me, and it hurts my feelings. Buy my comic." It works every single time. And then it just shuts them up. That's the best way to defeat SJWs. Hitch them up like farm animals to a plow and make them make you money. Jim Bobo, thanks for $2. Kick V. Somebody had to say that. Eric Newland, $2. You guys are too big league. No super chats matter. They all matter. Neotona, thanks for $5. Ask V to get you in on the next D&D campaign. He's invited me before.
Yeah, it's up to Sargon, like he does the invite. It's his campaign, but I'm thinking making my own, and then I'll.
Yeah. I don't play D&D, really. Cesar Lopagina, thanks for $5. Thoughts on Vertigo's SJW creators Zoe Quinn, Rob Sheridan, and Richard Pace of violating DC's social media guidelines recently with incendiary tweets. How do I feel about that? Richard Pace is an old friend of mine. He's another moose. I've known Richard Pace since about 1996. He is a very small Canadian leaf with squinty eyes and dimples. And he's a piece of human garbage because basically he is apparently, in my opinion, desperately in need of money. And decided to sort of lick his finger and put it to the wind and see what was the best idea, betraying his friend or standing by his friend in the hopes that SJWs might give him some work. He decided to betray me. He's an idiot. And by the way, just before he did betray me, I saw him all over my YouTube. Richard Pace, I saw you, dude. I saw you, midget. I saw you posting on all of my YouTube videos trying to get my attention. I was too busy. I'm sorry. I know that made you upset. I know that, but look, it got you a job. You sucked all this SJW dick, and now you're working at Vertigo. So you can thank me later. Emery Calumet, thanks for $2. Episode 9 is like the Highlander 2 and Fantastic Four. Yeah. Jonah Kyle, thank you for $4.99. They should bring back Ian McDermott as Palpatine to be the next big bad, since Ruin Johnson killed Snoke off and no one cares about Reynolds. All good ideas. Yeah.
Did you not like that? Like, you didn't expect Snoke to die. It was like, ta-da.
You know who would be a good Palpatine? You remember James Varney? He did Ernest from the Ernest Goes to Camp.
Yeah.
I think he needs a serious role.
Well, he does.
I think the Pope, the previous Pope.
Yes.
I think he would be a good Palpatine.
But he retired early.
So he's not doing anything.
Yes, that he's available, probably for cheap. And after Solo, they could snatch him up real cheap.
You mean they couldn't afford to pay him any more?
I'm curious what episode 9 is going
He's
to be
got
like.
robes. He's already got robes. He just needs a lightsaber.
I don't think episode 9 will bomb. Because there's so many people that just want to see the conclusion of the trilogy, like they want to see how it ends. And I think there will be people who go just to see, okay, just how bad can this be?
What do you think? What's a bomb? What do you think a bomb is?
A bomb is something you drop in space and it goes down even though there's no gravity.
Yeah. And Ryan Johnson. A bomb. Here's what's going to happen. It's going to make money. It is going to it's going to make $900 million. $900 million, and that is my guess. It will not break 1 billion because the fans are not on board, and that'll be a big deal. And they'll still say it almost made $1 billion. Yes, but Force Awakens made 2.3 billion. Okay, that was the pinnacle. That's when they still held the fans' trust.
How much does it cost to make one of these? Like, what was the price to make?
Well,
one?
that's that varies. That varies, but it's still you're in the black at that point. Solo cost it should have cost 250 million, but they ended up scrapping the original directors and adding cost another $80 million by hiring Ron Howard to finish the film, basically remake the whole film. So it ended up costing $330 million just to make the film. You have to tack on another 250 for promotion at Denny's. And then before you know it, Solo brings in less than $400 million in the box office.
They didn't expect that, yeah.
It's just absolutely unbelievable what SJWs do. What they do to these properties, they're boll weevils. They go in there and they destroy it, and then they lie about it. And they were all saying, Solo made $100 million its opening weekend. That doesn't sound like a failure to me. That's how dishonest they are. They're such liars that they'll actually try to spin it.
Was it a really bad movie, by the way? Like, did you watch it? Because I didn't go out of it just to boycott. I went C+.
Yeah, I like the Chewbacca Han Solo shower scene.
That was good.
There is
yeah. There it is.
Oh no! Hey, the thumbnail for this right now is Cecil's face, and it says Mitch Breitweiser and EVS Friends Live.
Look at our friends. Like, look at. I'll fix that thumbnail. Don't worry, Rick Ray.
That's fine.
You hear me reading a super.
I put asses in seats, Ethan. Just leave it be.
Rick Ray, thank you for $10. Lib Reporter, Disney's second quarter earnings up thanks to Black Panther's high earnings. Let's see. Black Panther made 1.3 billion. Avengers made almost 2.1 billion. But we'll go with Black Panther since it fits the liberal Hollywood narrative. Well, that is correct, and they're going to brag about that all day long. Mr. Adam, $8. God bless from the zoo. David Dowler, thanks for $5. Have you ever read Star Wars Legacy by John Ostrander and Jen Dracima? It's amazing. My favorite Star Wars comic series. Congrats on Red Rooster, Mitch. Congrats.
Thank you. I thought Black Panther was a right-wing movie.
Yeah. It is literally the alt-right movie if you talk about a black ethnos. Like, if you'd replace all the black people with white people, that would be the alt-right utopia. Okay, so they got an ethno state, right? They got very good borders that no one can get past. They have a monarchy, so it's not a democratic place.
So it's a far-right movie. And
it is a far-right movie.
The best. It put Disney in the black.
It put Disney in the black. So, it was legitimately a far-right movie, yeah.
Yeah.
It put the black in Disney.
I haven't seen it yet. But I mean, this is the thing. Disney should be doing great. And it is doing great. It's just that, the one kind of smear on Disney right now is Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm is underperforming, and that is an understatement. It's unreal. So you've got Force Awakens, 2.3 billion. You've got The Last Jedi, which they still tout as a critical success. Oh, it made $1.2 billion. That's half of what The Force Awakens made. Half.
And you're not counting that the toys don't sell. That's even
believe me, overall, they're still losing money. They're still in the red because they have not, despite what they tell you, they're fucking liars. They have not made back the money they spent on Lucas.
I know somebody that works in this industry. I can't give any specifics at all, but they are legitimately pulling back on Star Wars stuff other than the stuff you've even heard about.
Yeah.
Because of Solo.
Yeah. They have to do that. They made that announcement and then they retracted it. Like that was all a big lie that broke out. They canceled Obi-Wan. They canceled Boba Fett. They canceled the what's that? Cantina movie that they were planning. All of the stuff. Mos Eisley Cantina. They canceled that. All of these extra movies they're just not doing now. And they're scrapping everything that Kathleen Kennedy was working on because she's been fired. And people, it's all secret, but they will find out in September. Kathleen Kennedy will step down because of harassment, personal reasons. She's had enough, and she's going to appoint her successor, which will most likely be Kiri Hart.
That is so true. I can totally see that. Yeah,
that's exactly what's going to happen. So I'm predicting.
When is Solo 2 coming out?
Yeah, it's never coming out. We were planning on it. I think they're planning on seeing the episode 9 make over $1 billion, and it may just squeak past $1 billion, but that is a failure. And anything under $1 billion is a devastating failure. So the fandom menace, that is us, and all of these kind of right-wing Star Wars people who are sick of SJWs and Star Wars are going to boycott. They're going to stage a boycott to see that this movie does not break $1 billion, and I think we're going to be able to do it.
Well, what if they don't make any more Star Wars movies? They decide it's like, okay, it's unprofitable. It's not going to give us money. There's no point. Would you
What
see
they
them
should have is the Guardians of the Galaxy meet up with Rose Tico.
Oh God, that would be so bad.
Well, my question is, well, what would they do? Great. Just hang on to it, or are they just going to hang on to Star Wars and not do anything with it? They would sell it. And why don't they put it in the hands of somebody who actually can do Star Wars films?
Because they've proven capable of doing that.
Cecil.
No, not Cecil.
Not Cecil.
Studio.
Wait a minute. Would you not like to see the Guardians of the Galaxy meet up with Rose Tico, Poe, and Finn and Rey? And then they would get in like a wacky adventure with the raccoon. I think that would be very good.
I'd like to see the raccoon and Red Rooster.
Oh my God, that is one way to rape my childhood.
Everyone in the chat is saying Dave Filoni. I hear you guys. Yes, Dave Filoni is our dream come true, but I'm telling you, they're not going to give it to us. They're not going to. It's going to be Kiri Hart, and get ready to have your heart broken. I'm telling you, it's going to be Kiri Hart. Here's the thing. Whoever takes over, if it is Dave Filoni, go hire big name directors.
Well, what about George Lucas? What if they just give it to George Lucas?
Give it back to him.
I tried to steer it back, Mitch.
They still have the IP. They still maintain the IP, but they let George Lucas direct.
He doesn't want to do it. It's not even a question of letting him. He doesn't want to. He's done. He's
got a giant frog throat, and he sits by a pond all day.
You say everyone has a frog
$4 billion. He's got an iron.
Okay, here's a more relevant question. Now that the Guardians of the Galaxy and the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe is coming to,
space. They're out of space.
It finishes with the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, and most of the actors are stepping down. Well, how do you see the future of it going?
Wonderful, because they're going to bring in Captain Marvel. They're going to bring in Squirrel Girl. They're going to bring in all the big players. They're going to come in to take the role.
This is Cecil's whole shtick. He wants to pretend to like SJW Marvel characters.
Everything good is about to happen. They're going to get wiped. They're going to wipe the slate, get rid of Captain America and the Falcon, and get rid of all these jerks. And bring in Jane Foster and get rid of Wolverine and bring in X-23. Ethan created that character. Bring her in. X-23. Get rid of Hawkeye. Bring in Kate Bishop. Bring in the golden age of cinema is about to come. We just finished up with the golden age of comic books, and now we're going to have it's a renaissance. We're lucky to be alive at this time, even despite Trump.
What do you think? Because the thing is, like, they're coming really close to the comic books, and the comic books are becoming really social justice-y.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. It's exactly. Cecil is right, except for his enthusiasm. The Avengers 4 is going to be full-on SJW. All of the men are dead. Now it's up to the women. the characters nobody likes, no matter how much Marvel
SJW Hulk.
SJW Hulk, Jane Foster. Who played Jane Foster? It's what's her name?
Portman.
Natalie Portman.
Ironheart.
No, but they're going to replace it. I think Alina Dunham would be a perfect Jane Foster.
Do you think they will bring Ironheart and female?
Yes. Riri Williams is coming in. This is the golden age. We're just hitting our stride.
Do you think they can make it good on the big screen? Because on the big screen, people understand why they're doing this. It's like the actor steps down, and of course, you need to take someone else. Do you think people will be more understanding?
Yes.
No.
No, they're going to be outraged. That's going to be the death of the MCU. Nobody likes these characters. Marvel is stubbornly and persistently insisting that people will eventually like these characters if they keep trying to jam them down people's throats. Oh, ordinarily, people learn to love comic book superheroes in the comics, and then you put them on the silver screen, and they already know them, they're familiar with them, and it goes great. Marvel introduced these characters in the comics. They failed in the comics. Well, maybe the problem is that we need to put them in the movies. So now they're going to poison their own movies with this garbage, trying to make people like Ms. Marvel, the Muslim with the giant hands. It's just
Kamala Khan.
Kamala Khan, yeah.
And now we've come full circle in this entire discussion to why we have formed the Comicsgate Alliance.
That is why.
And why Mitch Breitweiser is going to pitch his Red Rooster right now, because this has got to be a totally different audience from when we started.
Just go check out my campaign. It's like 2:30 in the morning. Just go to Indiegogo, Red Rooster Golden Age.
The link is in the description. Link is in the description for everyone in the chat except for V. Subscribe to their channels. Go over to Red Rooster Golden Age. We are now only $1,000 away from meeting the halfway point of where we want to be tomorrow. And that is pretty exciting. So we just need another $1,000. Rick Ray gives me $10 instead of giving it to Red Rooster. Shame on you. People will have forgotten by December 2019. Look at our friends Jeremy and Jeff going to Star Wars Celebration paying Disney money. Oh, I'm doing it too. It's the one thing Jeremy and I disagree on. Mitch is hot, no offense. So I guess Rick's gay and he thinks you're hot. So, there you go.
I'm not gay, and I think Mitch is hot too.
David Dollar, thanks. Yeah, right. David Dollar, thanks for $2. Comicsgate Cinematic Universe for Next Generation. Well, we hope so. Bagel Goose, $2. Cecil's fan club is still here. Cecil, why don't you just write me a check and I'll tell you that you're just fine.
You know what? This is a good point, because there is there's a contingent of like Christian billionaires who want to create a whole like multimedia empire. I can't say who anybody is. I just know somebody that I'm working with knows.
Secret society.
It is. I mean, it's not secret, but it's like, there's these guys with freaking pockets as deep as you can get that do want to do this, and they don't want to do like, TBS or like Christian stations. They would just want to do like center right media, like across the board. So I mean, what you just said is legitimately could be a thing that happens like in the next 20 years.
They should call me.
That would be amazing, because the reason the right keeps losing is because they don't want to put money in what they want.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're not losing. We're winning.
Well, when it comes to the government, yeah, but when it comes to corporations, like most corporations are still left wing. I mean, Milo Yiannopoulos just had his PayPal account being shut down.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, I mean, Google
there's still a lot of left-wing gatekeepers that we need to work around. I mean, that's why they. But you know what? That's the free market. That's why they started. What's that conservative media thing that like Crowder and Mark Levin and all those guys? Yeah, yeah. They went and started their own CRTV. Right? And so they created their own outlet because YouTube was demonetizing all of the conservative talking heads. And so, it's the free market. YouTube eventually is probably going to try to shut down all of us at some point if we get too big. And then we'll have to go to CRTV or something. I don't know. Start our own Comicsgate Alliance
channel. It's called right-wing propaganda. I Googled CRTV. It's called right-wing propaganda by Google.
Mitch, there's a concern in the chat. They're saying, why should we support Red Rooster when there are no boobies in it? No.
That's a good question. I
there are blue-footed boobies.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be sexy ladies in it, but
Will there be
better
boobies?
not be porn.
Jeez, what kind of people did you bring with you, V?
I brought these people.
Oh, you mean people who are in tune with their male sexuality?
Yeah. Well,
Somebody said PayPal is gay. I don't know if PayPal has any.
I noticed this, right? You used to have in comic books a lot of big boobies, right? Like this was a thing back in the day. And now, because of the social justice activism, you don't get boobs at all. To the point where there is a huge demand for boobs in comic books.
This is the male gaze. We're trying to stop it and stamp it out forever.
Hell yeah.
I remember as a young child.
I thought you meant gay men. Male. Sorry. That was the worst joke I've ever made. I'm so sorry. Okay. Sorry. I love boobs. Bring back boobs. Pancake chests. People are drawing boobs in the chat. Somebody said Cecil has man boobs. So that's a start. Yeah, I think maybe there should be a red hen. No, not red hen. Is that the name of the restaurant? What's her face?
Yeah. Sarah Sanders was thrown out as a red rooster.
When is Mitch's deadline for purchase? People are asking. It's a 30-day campaign. It's a 30-day campaign. So back it early, back it often, back it early, back it often, and then tell your friends.
Tell your family. Tell your friends' family.
Hey guys, I'm gonna do my morning duties now. So was
gonna do a duty?
What time is it where you are?
It's 10 a.m.
Oh, that's about the time I get out of bed to take my first piss of the morning.
Yeah, I need to do that. It's part of the morning.
That's his duty.
Well, we did good. I appreciate your coming here. I wonder if you would be so kind as to promote Red Rooster, maybe even promote Cyberfrog on your channel.
Sure. I'll do it on my I'll do it on my live stream. I'll mention it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah,
it's great to meet you.
Yeah, I can have you on, mate, if you want.
Yeah.
Whenever you're free, just contact me on the Twitter, and we can exchange some information.
Will do. Yeah.
Good talking to you, V.
Was awesome talking to you guys.
Nice to meet you, V.
Nice to meet you too, Cecil.
Go do your duty.
YouTube is a nice little community where people just kind of get to know each other. I love it. I love the idea of V coming in here and meeting Mitch, and everything just getting smaller. It's really, really nice.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Thomas Dorian, $4.99. So fun tonight. Appreciate you all. I'm mentally reinvested in comics. Aloha, Mike, FBI.
Aloha.
Guys, this is just great. I want to thank you for being with me on my channel. I don't know if you guys want to go. It's late.
We're at 47,629.
Oh, we did it!
Somebody did it.
Somebody bought an original page.
That was great.
Some lucky bastard is going to have a beautiful page of art and a gallery quality
I
art
love
print
it.
By my lovely and talented colorist wife, Elizabeth Brightweiser.
I was about to go to bed defeated, and I was like, oh my gosh, right at the last minute. We are halfway to where we're more than halfway to where we need to be. We want to be at $95,000 by tomorrow. We'll just give ourselves tomorrow night and call it a day. But tomorrow we should be at $95,000, guys. Let people know.
Hey,
thank you so much.
Hey, Ethan, check it out, man. I think I'm getting good at calling these things, because in my stream today, when I was doing my Red Rooster Day stream, I said we're gonna get to $75,000 tonight.
Oh, I love it.
Just like I said, yours was gonna get to $400,000 in 30 days. Nailed it.
Yeah, great, great job, everyone. One last question: will all the Red Rooster comics be autographed?
Yes, every single one of them. By the whole team. By the whole team.
By the whole team.
Because we're all in Arkansas, so
it's so convenient for you. I would love to. Yeah, I would love to have Kyle come up and sign all these books, because he's the only other collaborator I have. But yeah, what a great thing. This is the thing about what we're producing. You don't have to worry about meeting us to get your comic book signed. All of these comic books come pre-autographed. We're going to.
You know what the great thing is? I actually prefer getting it signed without actually meeting you.
I know it. Then you don't have to have these personal interactions.
Yeah.
And we can just talk on YouTube. Yeah, it's wonderful.
He was my first stalker on my channel.
Oh, you're talking about me? Oh,
yeah.
All right. Well, I just want to thank everyone again. Thank you. Continue to support this. Continue to support Red Rooster, Iron Sights, Cyber Frog, Blood Honey, please, and Jawbreakers, please. This is just very, very exciting. And also, you can support what's it called? Ravage, Kill All Men. Somebody mentioned that they really saw that as part of this thing. I did advertise it. I promoted it. I think so too. Thank you guys so much. And we will see you again tomorrow. I'm going to go to sleep and wake up at noon at this point, I guess.
Good night, all.
Aloha. Thanks, guys.
Good night, guys. Good night, everybody in the chat. Good night.
Subscribe to everybody.